Yes.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to Debate the Facts.
Woo! That's the same motherfucking. That's the same motherfucking new intro.
That's the one I just made. I just got back from vacation. Relax. We got our one viewer so far. I'm Toxic Taylor. This is Debate the Facts. We got joining us a very special guest tonight, Cyrus.
I got my mic. I mean, my face cut off, so no one can see.
And we were doing a very...
So no one can see what you look like. But your face is right there. Okay. I'm just kidding.
No, we good. There we go.
We had the intro.
I got me on that one.
See, that's how you.
How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing?
Hey, what's going on, Cyrus? How you doing, man?
Yeah, good to see you, brothers, man. Thank you guys for letting me be on. I appreciate that.
Oh, honored and privileged, man. Honored and privileged.
That's good to
appreciate it.
Sir.
We lost our cringy guy. He's missed a couple of episodes already.
Yeah, he said he said he's gonna be great after fucking Thursday or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Thursday and Friday.
We've been
we'll do some. So we'll do something special with Kev.
Tonight we got a very you watched this?
No.
Has anyone seen this yet? You haven't watched this one yet?
No.
I fell asleep. I was referred. Dad's one of our fans referred this one to me, and I listened to it. I put it on my headset last night, and yeah, I was kind of drunk.
So it's like
asleep. But
it's like fucking ASMR and shit.
All I can remember is they don't agree.
And what are they agreeing and disagreeing on?
Cancel culture.
Oh, that's my favorite topic right there.
But yeah, with Tjump, it's obviously gonna. It's like he talks like the Godfather. What's the head in your blood? You fuck with me.
How you feel about cancel culture, Cyrus?
Man, I think it's pretty interesting. You know what I mean? I think it's borderline oppressive if you ask me, man. Yeah, because people can totally signal out just one person and stuff. You know what I mean? And just cancel them out and everything. You know, it's amazing that you can get more than one person at one time to attack one individual and stuff. You know what I mean? Collectively. So it's pretty interesting. What's your thoughts on it, bro?
That's how democracy works. If everyone agreed on the same topic, on social change, then the world would be a better place. But you know, too much like right. I don't really have much of an opinion on cancel culture. If you say, yeah,
like Tjump came to defend it. You want to call it that?
Whole defense.
Did you say this was one of the? Is this a maybe? What is they?
What is they?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
What is they? It's Tjump and they. What is they?
Oh, Demonmama. Demonmama.
So it's female.
It's
a feminine pronoun.
That's Demonmama. Where's the they at?
Well, you have to say, yeah, I don't want to get canceled, so I'd say they until I have the proper identification of the pronoun. So they versus Tjump is she versus it's him and her are going to duke it out.
You've undergone some cancel culture before.
Yeah, I'm sick of dealing with them.
Oh, that's terrible.
Cancel my every move.
Well, do you guys think? Do you guys okay? So you guys think it's because I would love to hear what you guys are saying. You know what I mean about like okay, so online, social media, or in person, an individual being ostracized from that, all those three things that I named and everything. Do you think it's fair to do that, or do you guys think that it's BS?
I think it's 100% fair. You know, there are some people out there who have toxic views, such as Ben Shapiro, Wendy Williams, Chuck Norris. You know, we need to eliminate the nonsense. You know, Ben Shapiro thinks Michael Jackson is a fucking pedophile. So I automatically, if anyone wants to cancel him just on that alone, on that basis alone, perfect. Let's get rid of that motherfucker.
You can't get people like that.
Except for that one chick, Gina Carano, beautiful woman. We should never cancel women. We should always have women at the forefront of discussions. Okay, and especially on these kinds of topics and whatnot, especially when it comes to debating and deplatforming. Luckily, we have a lovely woman here in Demonmama. You guys ready to start this show?
Yeah.
Get this damn thing started, brothers. Let's do it.
Hello, everyone. My name is Demonmama. I'm a political educator here on YouTube.
Okay, first and foremost,
I thought you said that was a she.
I thought, excuse me, don't be rude. All right, they sound heavenly. Okay, don't. Let's not, Taylor. Okay, I'm on her side.
I don't want to misgender anybody, man. They can cancel my show for that. That definitely don't sound like that don't sound like a she. It's probably a they.
I stand with you, Demonmama.
Let Demonmama speak, for crying out loud. Let's see what she has to say.
These are her opening statements. Let's see.
And I do a lot of debate. So I'm here today to discuss deplatforming and debate as tactics for challenging bad and potentially harmful ideas and positions. So first, I think I will start by defining deplatforming. Deplatforming, by my measure, is a cooperative social act of protest that involves boycotting or bringing attention to violations of the terms of service of various media platforms, such that that platform can enforce their TOS appropriately against the violator of that TOS. I want to make sure that we don't go into this conversation confusing deplatforming with government censorship or the censorship of art or crackdowns on journalism, because these are not the same thing. And while there are many, many tactics that could be considered deplatforming, some of them more extreme, some of them more mild, it would be, in my opinion, foolish of us to disregard the value of deplatforming as a broad tactic. Deplatforming is an incredibly common social phenomenon, which allows for society or social groups to potentially solve issues with hateful or truly dangerous ideas without involving the government or any government entities. It has been practiced for most of human history, from people refusing to attend speeches to people outright protesting those speeches. And in and of itself, it can be considered a act of freedom of speech in its own right. While some figures in modern politics have decried deplatforming as some sort of horrible tactic of fascists or whatever, in truth, it is nothing more than one tactic in a large societal toolbox in which we counter various ideas. I think it would be foolish of us to disregard deplatforming as valuable, and I've brought quite a lot of interesting information for us to discuss as a part of that broader conversation. So thank you very much for having me here today, and I'm looking forward to discussing this back and forth, James, and with you, Tom.
Hold on, first and foremost, that was a very short opening. And you know what? That's exactly how these motherfuckers should start doing it. Very short opening. Succinct, right to the fucking point, you know? This is exactly why she's 100% correct.
Short and to the point.
Yeah, why is it a must to do these 15 minutes opening statements? I do like that she kept it short and get right to the point and let's move on with this thing. I did like that. I did.
Exactly. That's how deplatforming is supposed to work. You get right to the point. You just cut right through the fucking mustard, you know? Get it in, get it out. You can't just fucking dick around and shit. See, that's what this guy over here, the debate guy, he loves to talk. Just loves to fucking talk. Right, Taylor? Tjump loves it.
He loves it.
Yeah, in and out like a robbery. That's the best way to do it. In and out like a robbery. As Tupac said.
All right, I'm gonna time. Look, where's my phone? I'm gonna time how long Tjump takes. For her, it only took her two minutes at least.
Tjump.
Wait a minute. Can we do a little wager about how long do we each of us believe Tjump is gonna take to make his opening statement?
I give him 5 minutes.
That's fine. I do 7.
7. All right, Taylor, what do you got?
What do they call the opening statements on this?
The opening statement. Fuck you mean?
How long did they take?
They're
supposed to be 12 minutes.
Taylor, you fell right into that one, dude. You fell right into that.
I'll give him. He'll take up about 8. I'll give him the 8.
All right, we got 5, 7, and 8. Let's do it.
5, 7, and 8. All right, let me pull up this little time clock real quick. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on. Let me see.
It's all good, bro.
Where the hell's the stopwatch? All right. 3, 2, 1. I'll give them a few seconds.
Mama for that opening statement. And want to let you know, folks, if it's your first time here at Modern Day Debate, we are a neutral platform hosting debates on science, religion, and politics. And folks, want to let you know we have many more juicy debates coming up, including the one that you see on the bottom right of your screen with Vosh and Tjump next week, as that's going to be an epic one. And so hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, as well as that notification bell so you don't miss it. And with that, we're going to kick it over to Tom for his opening statement. The floor is all yours, Tom.
Thanks, James, for hosting us. Thanks, Demonmama, for showing up. I appreciate the conversation. So my position on deplatformer debate is that you should pretty much always debate. Deplatforming is really not a useful idea. You don't have the right to determine what other human adults have the right to listen to. Secondly, they could be right. The people you're deplatforming could be right. Just deplatforming them because you disagree and you think they shouldn't have a platform is obviously wrong, because they could just use the same tactic against you. If they're the ones who have the platform, they can just say, oh, no, well, we don't like what you're saying, so we're just going to ban you, so you can't say it. And obviously that's wrong. Seeing what would happen if it was applied to your own ideology shows why the same tactic can be used to restrain true ideas just because you don't like them. Like, that's what China does. China deplatforms anybody who doesn't say exactly what they want to say or what they want to hear. So clearly deplatforming can be abused in many cases. Like, some of the more obvious cases is like when Ben Shapiro, when people were like pulling the fire alarms for Ben Shapiro, like a bunch of people invited him to come speak and paid for him to come speak, and a different organization who was protesting against him pulled the fire alarm so he couldn't speak. And clearly that's wrong. Like, you don't have a right to infringe on someone else's freedom to listen to a speaker they want to listen to. You don't have the right to stop that speaker in a platform that you didn't pay for, that isn't yours, just because you don't agree with what they have to say. That's clearly something that's wrong. Secondly, deplatforming doesn't solve any issues. It doesn't accomplish anything. Now, debate doesn't really move a lot of people. Like, as a professional debater, I know you don't really convince a large population of what you're actually saying. It's usually in the single digits at best. But when people do come to your ideology, like Jordan Peterson being a huge movement, it wasn't that his arguments won people over as much as they already had this ideology or the similar values invested in who they were as people. And then they had some figurehead in order to associate these values with. So the beliefs essentially were already in the people, or the same values that they had. So deplatforming Jordan Peterson wouldn't have stopped those people from believing the things they already believed. All it would do is just get rid of their figurehead, the thing that they can associate those values with. And the same is true of any kind of platform or debate topic. Really, the speaker isn't convincing all these people. They're just giving someone, or they're providing someone to which they can identify the same values to their audience. And the reason this is important is because when you see this in society, you can recognize that those values are there. Like, these people have these values, and this is something we need to address, whether it's good or bad. And if you just deplatform the person, you would never know this. You wouldn't have the same information and demographics on who has these positions, why they have these positions. You wouldn't have the opportunity to engage with these people, to learn how to motivate them. And debating them is a great opportunity to do this, because you can learn what the most powerful arguments on their side are that are convincing the vast majority of people, or that they do identify with. And then you can learn how to counter them. One of the biggest threats in deplatforming is that, well, the opponents could be right. They could actually have a good point that is counter to whatever your ideology is, and you're just dismissing it, brushing it under the rug, when in fact you should be addressing it. Because when you do address the positions of the other side, it makes your ideology better. That's the benefit of debate. To quote the Fundamentals of Chess 1883, the only way to get smarter is by playing a smarter opponent. And so if someone you disagree with and you think is wrong is getting a large following because their arguments are very compelling to people, you shouldn't deplatform them because you disagree. You should be addressing what they're saying and make more compelling arguments and learn from what they're doing. And I think that this idea of just discarding anyone who we disagree with is clearly fundamentally wrong and immoral, especially because you're deciding what other human adults should be allowed to listen to, which is clearly not okay. And I'll conclude there.
Thank you very much, Tom.
I'm surprised. I lost.
Let you know.
I was dead wrong this time.
I lost. I wasn't nowhere near it. All right, Tjump. Bravo.
4 minutes, 3 seconds. Good job. Good fucking job. Yeah. I was getting scared. He was nearing that 5 minute mark. I was over here sweating and shit. My butt cheeks was clenching. And I was like, oh my gosh, I hope I pressed the button at the right time, because he's really getting close. Man. All right. Let's see here. James, what do you got, buddy?
Thanks, folks. First, our guests are linked in the description, so we encourage you to check out those links, and that includes if you are listening via the Modern Day Debate podcast, as we're thrilled to be available on podcasts now. All of our debates are both on YouTube and there. Also, want to encourage you folks, want you to attack the arguments, not the person. And so 99% of you do a great job of this. The other 1%, if you refuse, we will hunt you down and destroy you. And also, though, folks, really do let you know about this as well.
They're going to get deplatformed.
That's actually it. All right, thanks so much. We'll go into the open dialogue. Want to let you know, both Tom and Demonmama, if it gets too rowdy, we will break it into 3-minute intervals, as people really do want to hear what you have to say. And so that way we can interrupt, or I should say, prevent, that way that people do get to actually hear you. So thanks so much, and the floor is all yours.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I could respond to here. There were a couple of points brought up that I feel like I already addressed. I don't think that this discussion is relevant to state censorship like we discussed in China. That, in my opinion, is not an example of deplatforming. That is an example of state and government censorship. In addition, deplatforming is it's not as simple as just being like, oh, well, just respond to whatever bad thing someone is saying. For example, to give an extreme but illustrative example of this, anti-Nazi people were not given a platform to respond to Nazis during Nazi Germany. There is problems with the idea that all people are given an equal platform. Many times, the reason why deplatforming is taken as a tactic or is undertaken as a tactic, or an attempted deplatforming is taken as a tactic, is simply because there is an imbalance in who is actually getting an opportunity to speak. In addition, there are examples of times where people are not being honest or are not even remotely approaching an issue with any sense of honesty. A great example of this is cult recruiters. This is a bit of an anecdote side note, but just so you know where I'm coming from on this, I grew up in a cult. So I'm very, very familiar with how cults operate, with how they recruit people. And one of the things that cult recruiters will do is they will get themselves in front of the largest audience possible, not because they expect to win any debates or convince anyone's minds, but because they're hoping to find people in the audience who are vulnerable to their message that they can rope in to their cult. And people like this, I think it is important, the type of messages that they're creating
You preach,
are not
Demonmama.
easily contested in something like debate and need to sometimes be called out by other tactics, such as deplatforming. An example of this, like what I would think is a valid example of deplatforming, would be, say, a large YouTuber was regularly putting out very, very racist, insightful rhetoric, which is already in violation of YouTube's TOS. And people decided, we've had enough of this. We are going to report this person for violating the TOS. And then YouTube discovers, indeed, they were violating the TOS and removes their platform from them. That is a valid example, in my opinion, of deplatforming that I think we can agree both falls in line with the existing TOS of the website, but also, I would hope, with people's general moral understanding of things. Now, there are some people who allege that there is massive examples or there are examples of bias or whatever, but we would have to talk about specifics in order to get into that, because I think that there's bias all the time. There is bias on all platforms without question, obviously. But that doesn't mean that deplatforming is any less valid. Deplatforming doesn't necessarily have anything to do with contesting truth or avoiding truth or even disagreeing with ideas that you don't like. It has more to do with saying, hey, this person is, and this is usually the case with regard to deplatforming, is usually putting out a message that acts as a call to action for people. Like you said, a figurehead who is looking to motivate the people in the audience to some sort of end. Deplatforming is most commonly used to contest, well, frankly, a lot of Nazis, people who go up and are hoping to rile up a crowd into some sort of act of violence. Now, I'm very, very big on free speech. I think free speech is incredibly important. It is a foundation of any democracy, but no person on the planet is a free speech absolutist or even like a purist. There is not one. No one believes that anything should be able to be said without any repercussions whatsoever. This goes as far as America, which is a particularly strong place for free speech. We don't, we have laws that prevent you from shouting fire in a crowded theater or something along those lines. And there are all kinds of different examples.
Just want to give you a heads up that we probably have to kind of kick more into dialogue mode as we're going on about 4 minutes, unless you guys want to do like.
First and foremost, James, knock it off, okay? The lady is speaking. You let her speak. You let her get her words out, okay? Unbelievable. How rude to cut her off.
So misogynistic.
Yeah, exactly. He's really letting his white privilege show, his white male privilege show. Unbelievable. How dare he? How dare
Stop
he?
it, James, please.
Now we got to listen
For
to
crying out loud.
Legitimate rebuttals where we have each of you go for like 5 or 6 minutes, but otherwise, just wanted to let you know.
Yeah, I mostly wanted to address those things. If you have something you want to contest, feel free.
Mute it.
Usually the case with regard to deplatforming is usually putting out a message that acts as a call to action for people. Like you said, a figurehead who is looking to motivate the people in the audience to some sort of end. Deplatforming is most commonly used to contest, well, frankly, a lot of Nazis, people who go up and are hoping to rile up a crowd into some sort of act of violence. Now, I'm very, very big on free speech. I think free speech is incredibly important. It is a foundation of any democracy.
Wait, I can't hear anything.
No person on the planet is a free speech absolute or even like a purist. There is not one. No one believes that anything should be able to be said without any repercussions whatsoever. This goes as far as America, which is a particularly, strong place for free speech. We don't, we have laws that prevent you from shouting fire in a crowded theater or something along those lines. And there are all kinds of different examples.
Just want to give you a heads up that we probably have to kind of kick more
again
dialogue
James.
mode as we're going on about 4 minutes, unless you guys want to do like legitimate rebuttals where we have each of you go for like 5 or something minutes, but otherwise just wanted to let you know.
Yeah, I mostly wanted to address those things. If you have something you want to contest, feel free to pop.
Are we on pause? What's going on? I can't hear you, Ray Bay.
My headset's not working.
Okay, I can hear you now, bro. So did we mute the debate or what?
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro. Can you hear me?
There we go.
Come on, baby.
Where'd Taylor go?
All right. Hey, what's going on? What's going on, Muhammad? Can you hear me, Cyrus? Say something real quick.
Yo. Did you hear that?
I was doing that, Taylor.
I just got back in the building.
Oh, there he goes. I was about to say I can't even see Taylor. Oh, there he goes.
Had to deal with something real quick.
Oh, okay, bro.
Yeah, what's going on? What did I miss? Everybody's showing up now. What's going on, Young Muhammad? What's going on, Daz Greenwood? Welcome everybody to Debate the Facts. So they're back and forth yet?
James had a little bit of misogynistic tendencies and stuff. You know what I mean? So me and Ray Bay, we had to address that because he was interrupting the poor lady and stuff. So where it stands right now, they're getting ready to address.
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you, Ray Bay. I can hear you.
All right. I don't see an echoey, do I?
You do.
Okay. Yeah, my headset's acting retarded. I'm gonna try to fix that. Let's see.
But it's
Can you
not
hear me
bad,
now?
bro. Yeah, it's not a bad echo though.
Yeah, it's just that I don't want the audio from the video echoing.
Okay.
Oh my god. And this shit just like decided, yeah, it's gonna take a crap on me right now. Well, actually, my whole laptop's acting retarded. Jesus.
So what happened with the debate? What's this? The Mo Hijab?
All right.
What happened with Mo Hijab? We did a
Okay.
Mo Hijab one.
Can you guys say something real quick?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
He was asking about Mo Hijab. That's the guy.
Muhammad Hijab. That's who he's asking about.
We did a review on Mo Job. He did an ambush. They did a 3-way ambush on an atheist.
Oh, the apostate prophet. Yeah.
Yeah, we reviewed that and we got sick of it after a while. We just never did the part. We just cut it off halfway. It was too hard to watch at the beginning.
Yeah, man. What Muhammad was speaking about. He's saying that I'm saying that, and I posted it there in the link about Muhammad Hajjaj, what he said about about apostate prophet's wife and his child and his mother making sexual comments to them and everything, and then he wants me to concede to say that Muhammad Hajjaj didn't do that when I had screenshots and I sent it to them in the forum. And then what am I left to concede when I gave you the proof that what he said? And then I also sent the video and told them the timing when they were actually talking about it. And then Muhammad Hijab never said that he did not say or make any type of rape accusations towards his wife and stuff. So there you go, Muhammad.
Yeah, I think they showed that in the debate too, and they were arguing over that.
Yeah, they were. He showed it, but you know, when I'm speaking to my our dear Muslim brother Muhammad, he, for whatever reason, no matter how many times I try to say and try to tell him to watch it, he never seen it. So I don't know what to say because you saw it, Taylor, but for whatever reason he didn't see it. No matter, I told him just to watch the first 15 minutes of it. They speak about it. They go back and forth. Muhammad Hijab never denied the fact that he made rape accusations to the apostate prophet's wife. So I don't know what more they want me to do. I can't concede on the lie. I can't concede a lie. Just watch it.
I don't understand the fixation with the apostate, the Muhammad Hijab. I think he's a good speaker, and he's talented. Like he doesn't do it like he inspired all the other wannabes and stuff. Like he was around like 4 years ago. I don't get it. I think he went nuts. Like I've been talking. They say he's been nuts ever since he debated David Wood.
Well, that, and then I think there's an interview with him with Yashir Qadi. I don't know if you know who that is, but I remember during a discussion between them two, he removed about 10 minutes of the interview because it was what was spoken was so inflammatory to what they believe. So David Wood speaks about that because he has it recorded. But the fascination, I don't know what the fascination. I think in the beginning, Muhammad Hijab was a strong pillar for the Islamic faith as far as the apologetics and stuff like that. But once he got insanely ridiculous with some of his views and his personal attacks, he lost credibility. So yeah, let's go ahead and start continue.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I was just having some audio difficulties. I had to close out my browser and whatnot in order to get everything working again. All right. So let's see here. All right, let's see what this beautiful Demonmama is going to do against Mr. Tom Cruise over here. Tom Cruise Tjump. What does he have to say?
Just want to give you a heads up that we probably have to kind of kick more into dialogue mode as we're going on about 4 minutes, unless you guys want to do like legitimate rebuttals where we have each of you go for like 5 or something minutes. But otherwise, just wanted to let you know
Yeah,
no.
I mostly wanted to address those things. If you have something you want to contest, feel free to pop in.
Yeah,
I'll
because
give you the
most of
same
that was
time,
completely
Tom.
irrelevant. So like none of that really mattered. So violating
Really?
TOS isn't
Oh!
deplatforming. You violated the TOS. Deplatforming is false flaggings of violating the TOS or using vague language to deplatform someone who's done nothing wrong, which happens all the time. That's really the main.
No, that's not what that means. You can't just
Yes, yes, it is.
No,
You
no,
don't-
no.
you
Hold
don't
on a
get to
second.
define my
Hold on
position.
1 second.
Wait,
Okay,
you don't
hey,
get to define
both
my
of you,
position,
both
so
of
I
you,
get to tell
stop
you what
right
it
now,
means.
Tom. So I do want to be fair, to give Tom like the same amount of time. So that was about 4 minutes, and so let's give Tom about another 3 minutes and 50 seconds or so,
Sure.
and then I promise we'll kind of go into maybe
He doesn't
2
need
minute or
that.
2 minute intervals.
So yeah, I don't care.
He had
if
a
you're
4-minute
banning people who've
opener.
done illegal things or are provoking violence. That's literally illegal. That's not a deplatforming. Deplatforming is like what happens to Ben Shapiro when he's talking to people saying literally nothing illegal, and people get him banned or kicked off campus because they disagree with what he's saying. Those are examples of deplatforming. And yes, this does apply to governments like China and your own example of the Nazis who deplatformed anti-Nazis. They weren't given a platform. That's also deplatforming. This is not just simply a social tool. This is a tool that many different groups of people use to prevent an ideology, and it's predominantly been used by governments to kill religious people mostly, and atheists. So yes, deplatforming does apply to governments, and it's not about violating TOS. I don't care about the TOS. What I care about is falsely accusing people of violating the TOS, or banning people because you disagree with what they're saying, like kicking them off a college campus because if another group or something invited them there and you don't like them, or pulling fire alarms so that they can't speak. Those are examples of deplatforming that are bad. Like violating kicking the illegal people who've done illegal things off, perfectly fine. I'm okay with that. If you violated a terms of service, that's an actual clear term of service in a platform, yes, that's perfectly fine. Using vague language to kick people off who you disagree with, not fine. So obviously I wouldn't agree with not deplatforming literal Nazis who literally want to kill people. Like clearly that's perfectly fine. Deplatform them all you want. If it's illegal, deplatform them. But it's not okay to deplatform people like Ben Shapiro or kick them out of college campuses because you disagree with what they're saying, or to scream over them, or to take the stage with the microphone and yell so people can't hear them speak. Those are bad examples of deplatforming. Are they social tools? Yes. Are they right? No. They're clearly wrong. It's wrong to do those things.
Okay, so you've said a couple of contradictory things in your response here. You've said simultaneously that someone being rightfully banned off of a platform in your mind is not an example of deplatforming, but then you also said that it is an example of deplatforming. You literally just contradicted yourself. So
What?
it
Get him.
seems to me
Slay,
you contradicted
slay,
yourself.
sister.
So I
Tell
stated
him.
that violating a clear term of service is fine. You can kick someone off for that. Violating
Is that
a
not
vague
deplatforming,
term
though?
of service, not in the same way. No, I'd say that's perfectly fine. So I
Okay,
would say deplatforming.
So
as I
you
said,
define. Wait. Just to be clear, I want to be clear that I'm making sure that I'm responding to your argument.
Sure.
So, in your opinion, deplatforming is only is solely defined as when you as when somebody does something that you don't like that results in somebody getting off a platform. You wouldn't say
What?
that somebody you.
No.
So you're in this previous conversation, you have defined deplatforming. You just said right now that you don't consider somebody being rightfully banned from the platform an example of deplatforming.
Sure.
So what you're defining as deplatforming is basically anything bad. How am I supposed to
No,
be able
I
to
never said
argue
that
with
at
you
all.
if you did? I mean, you just did. You literally
So
just
I
did.
literally said my definition of deplatforming is when you use vague language to ban someone who's done nothing wrong.
Okay, so let me just ask this again one more time. I just want to be clear. Do you think that someone who has said all kinds of racist TOS violating things being reported accurately and being removed is an example of deplatforming?
No.
Or is it only when so you define, this is what I was saying, you define deplatforming by default as bad, as a bad thing that happens. How are you supposed to have a discussion, a meaningful discussion, if you define deplatforming as when people do something I don't like to get rid of somebody? I think that my position and my definition of deplatforming is much more
Yeah,
accurate
so I never
to
said
reality.
that. So I didn't say that at all. You're just trying.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm running into.
Go ahead, Demonmama, if you weren't done.
Sorry, I'm just running into some basic communication issues here with how we go forward. I don't know how you can simultaneously say that someone being removed from a platform for after being reported correctly for violating TOS isn't deplatforming, but someone being removed because of something in TOS that you don't like is deplatforming. That sounds to me like you've defined deplatforming as when something that you don't like happens.
That was it. Come on, man. You hear that shit?
Yeah, I heard.
I did, man.
You heard who contradicted themselves?
Tjump totally contradicted himself.
Listen to what she just said again.
I just heard what he said, man. This is crazy.
She said that take it off the watch.
Go ahead, bro.
Say that someone being removed from a platform for after being reported correctly for violating TOS isn't deplatforming, but someone being removed because of something in TOS that you don't like is deplatforming.
Yeah.
That sounds to me like
Now
you've
go back to what
defined
he said.
deplatforming as when something that you don't like happens.
You want me to go
and
back
that
to
doesn't
what
seem
Tjump
a
said?
Like
coherent
what he
definition.
just said.
Oh my God, it was so
Saying
long.
they're kicking them off a college campus because if another group or something invited them there and you don't like them, or pulling fire
When
alarms
she was
so they can't
asking,
speak,
when she was asking the
those are
question,
examples of deplatforming that are bad. Like violating illegal, kicking the legal people who've done illegal things off, perfectly fine. I'm okay with that. If you violated a terms of service, that's an actual clear term of service in a platform. Yes, that's perfectly fine. Using vague language to kick people off who you disagree with, not fine. So obviously I wouldn't agree with not deplatforming literal Nazis who literally want to kill people. Like clearly that's perfectly fine. Deplatform them all you want. If it's illegal, deplatform them. But it's not okay to deplatform people like Ben Shapiro or kick them out of college campuses because you disagree with what they're saying, or to scream over them, or to take the stage with the microphone and yell so people can't hear them speak. Those are bad examples of deplatforming. Are they social tools? Yes. Are they right? No. They're
Those are very
clearly
good
wrong.
examples.
Wrong to do those things.
that's the clear.
Okay,
the
so
very clear
Bench-
point.
Ben Shapiro's a little midget. You know, he thinks he knows everything. So, you know, yeah, he deserves to be deplatformed any place he goes to. Unbelievable. Tjump's deranged. Derangement syndrome.
I don't
you've
know.
said
I, think,
a couple of contradictory things in your
What are you saying?
I don't know if the communication there is on Jump or her right now, because he's saying like if you report somebody, like if somebody reports me, if I'm showing porn on YouTube, somebody report me and I get take it down, but I'm violating the terms of service. But if I'm over here and I'm fucking right preaching like right wing, right, like your MAGA people, right, and that gets defined, that gets brought into the a technicality on the TOS of hate speech because Trump's the hate speech, right? So then they get the MAGAs down for hate speech, and all of a sudden they got the whole Republican Party down for hate speech. That's what he's talking. He's talking about like what they did to Milo and what they did to Richard Dawkins at college campuses and stuff.
Right.
He's not saying he's against like people being, for flagrant violation, but the TOS, right, violating terms of service, right, like with Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah.
He's saying that's not deplatforming. He's saying that when people, go beyond that and start to like take people's platforms away, like and try to speak over them and remove their rights to free speech.
Keep your hatred off our campus.
She's trying to say that Tjump contradicted him, saying he both agrees with TOS and disagrees with TOS, even though he clearly said he agrees with TOS.
What do you think, Cyrus?
I understand. I understand. I don't think I see where she's coming from, but I don't know if she's really hearing Tjump. And on the surface, I even thought Tjump contradicted his damn self. You know what I mean? But seeing the distinction that that Taylor is saying, then I probably want to take a couple of steps back on what I previously thought, because now if he's okay with TOS, you know what I mean, and he's making a clear distinction with saying that okay, the terms of service is one thing, but people who are coming to a platform that is paid for by a certain demographic of people, other people coming in to try to stop that. That's what he's saying, and that's what I believe that Tjump saying that he's against. And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. And if that's what Tjump is saying, right as of right now, I don't have an issue with that per se.
Yeah, he's basically saying like Yeah, if Facebook wants to ban somebody for violating TOS, cool. He's cool with that. But if it's people want to go to a college campus and interrupt Ben Shapiro's little midget ass while he's fucking talking and shit, and then that's not he's not cool with that. They want to stop him from spreading his lies and his deceit about Michael Jackson. I am not I am 100% with that. They want to stop Ben Shapiro from spreading bullshit. Hell yeah, bullshit like that. Sometimes the guy has some very insightful educational information and whatnot, but when it comes to Michael Jackson, no, Ben Shapiro is 100% fucking wrong.
Well, let me ask you this before we press play again. If we believe in democracy, like we say we do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't it be somebody exercising their right in a democratic process to object to anybody speaking to in any public forum? You know what I mean? How could that be something like a part of cancel culture versus someone just exercising their right in the democratic process to oppose any view that is spoken about in public?
I'm not really stuck. I'm just sitting there. So basically, what it is, how is it a part of cancel culture to disagree with someone?
Yeah, versus you just
It's
exercising
not.
your right.
It's not a part of cancel culture. Anyone can disagree. Like I can. What you're religious, right, Cyrus?
Yes, I'm a Christian. Yes.
All right. See, you're a Christian. I'm a practicing Johnist. I could disagree with you on where we go in the afterlife and whatnot, and we'll have a good time. But if I took it one step further and went to your job, oh,
God won't let me have a decent interview. Just want to take some of my camera shine. That's Cali right there. But yeah, but go ahead.
So if I took it a step further and I called your job up and I said, hey, you know that Cyrus, the virus guy you guys got working for y'all? Yeah. He's a crazy Christian. He thinks he's going to fucking heaven. You guys should fucking fire him. We don't do that here in the United States of America. And and with a whole group of people and shit, and we just fucking got you fucking fired and shit for practicing one of your your precious constitutional freedoms. That's cancel culture. That would be cancel culture. But
I see what you're saying.
Fair enough for anyone to disagree with you. I tend to be an agree to disagree type of person. I'm not going to sit there and I'm not really going to call your job up. I wouldn't do that. Taylor's job, maybe, put him out of a job or some shit, but
definitely calling Taylor's job. You know what I mean? Definitely.
Yes.
People have tried to find out where I work to cancel me. Oh, you're a Trump supporter? Oh no. Oh, we're gonna. I wish they would call my motherfucking job up. My boss.
Oh, you hoe ass bitch! Get the fuck out of here. Ray is the best worker I have. I'm not firing him. Fuck you.
But
I remember Ray, man. I mean, before you press play, just real quick, I remember we talked a while ago, many months ago and stuff, man. And this is when you're an atheist and not the Johnness that you say that you're pursuing right now. But even with that conversation, you or me wasn't getting loud at one another. You didn't call my job. You did not make a comment with my wife and say, you know what? Cyrus White is a SOB. You know what I mean? For whatever he stands for and stuff like that. But it was okay for us to disagree and stuff. But I see what you're saying. Going to that next level, though, if something is just crazy, and that's what you're saying. That is a part of the cancel culture that what you're saying is going on.
Right. Exactly. That's a part of the cancel culture, and the cancel culture is a wonderful pivotal weapon in the bag of critical race theory. We gotta use this fucking cancel culture a little fucking more. Demonmama is really fucking gonna lay it into Tjump as to why we need to use this cancel culture, why we need to start deplatforming motherfuckers and shit for the silly shit that they be fucking saying on the fucking interwebs. Pardon all my French. I apologize for all my French. I do usually speak English, but I'd also curse a lot.
Person is a part of the English language as well. Just wanted to say that. Go ahead, brother.
All right, you guys ready to get back into this?
Let's do it.
All right.
Do it.
Your response here. You've said simultaneously that someone being rightfully banned off of a platform in your mind is not an example of deplatforming, but then you also said that it is an example of deplatforming. You literally just contradicted yourself. So
What?
it seems to me you contradicted yourself.
No,
You
no,
stated
no.
that
So I stated that violating a clear term of service is fine. You can kick someone off of that. Violating
Is that
a
not
vague
deplatforming,
term
though?
of service, not in the same way. No, I'd say that's perfectly fine. So I would say deplatforming.
So
as I
you
said-
define. Wait. Just to be clear, I want to be clear that I'm making sure that I'm responding to your argument.
Sure.
So, in your opinion, deplatforming is solely defined as when you, as when somebody does something that you don't like that results in somebody getting off a platform. You wouldn't say that
What?
somebody
No.
So you're,
What the hell is
in
he
this
doing?
previous
He's
conversation, you
canceling
defined
Tjump.
deplatforming. You just said right now that you don't consider somebody being rightfully banned from the platform an example of deplatforming.
Sure.
So what you're defining as deplatforming is anything, basically anything bad. How am I supposed to
No,
be able
I
to
never said
argue
that
with you
at
if you did? I mean, you just did. You literally
So
just
I
did.
literally said my definition
Yeah,
of
you just
deplatforming
did.
is when you
You
use
just
vague
did,
language
TJ.
to ban someone who's done nothing wrong.
Okay, so let me just ask this again one more time. I just want to be clear. Do you think that someone who has said all kinds of racist TOS violating things being reported accurately and being removed is an example of deplatforming?
No.
Or is it only when you, so you've defined, this is what I was saying, you define deplatforming by default as bad, as a bad thing that happens. How are you supposed to have a discussion, a meaningful discussion, if you define deplatforming as when people do something I don't like to get rid of somebody? I think that my position and my definition of deplatforming is much
What is
more
going
accurate
I
in
never
the
said that.
reality.
No, I didn't say that at all. You're just
That's
trying
not
to.
what he's saying.
I'm
though.
running
He's
into-
not saying that.
Go ahead, Demon Mama, if you weren't done.
Sorry, I'm just running into some basic communication issues here with how we go forward. I don't know how you can simultaneously say that someone being removed
Yeah,
from a
you
platform
definitely are.
To be fair to Demon Mama, Tjump talks in this weird
Yeah.
way, like Ben Shapiro. All fast, as if he's written down everything he's saying and whatnot. He's probably practiced this in the mirror a million times, and he threw her off with a few fancy words and whatnot. A few fancy sentences. Demon Mama, I am there with you, soul sister. He confused me too. Hashtag me too.
Yeah,
Wait till you start bad
it
mouthing
does
Trump.
sound-
You're gonna be done.
It does sound a bit confusing, but for all of us not to be confused, can any one of us explain what the hell is Tjump actually saying?
Tjump is saying that violation of TOS, like the hate speech, the shit that's obviously not supposed to be on the internet, right? Like you're sharing shit that shouldn't be up here, like FCC violation, like hate, like the recruiting for Al Qaeda. Obviously, that's hate speech. The recruiting for skinhead is hate speech. If they got porn, it's right. It's nudity. It's graphic. It's clear violation of the terms and services you sign up for. But you on Facebook and shit, you get banned for calling someone an idiot and all this weird shit, right? That's what he's saying.
Crazy.
These are vague. They're going hardcore and vague, and they're selectively doing it. They're selecting certain groups. Like if you say something bad about Muslims on the internet, they take you down. And it could just be a critique of the religion. They take it down. They took down David Wood. They're canceling people. And that's they
are doing that.
That's what he's saying. And she's trying to redefine
it's hate speech to open up the Quran and quote it and stuff and talk about it and stuff is hate speech. So Tjump is literally the Neo from the Matrix of YouTube. You know what I mean? That's exactly what he is. He is confusing me, but I'm glad that Taylor Leach you understand what's going on, and thank you for clearing it up, brother. So now I got a different perspective. Listening to the man.
Yes,
After
he's
being
saying
recorded
the opposite of what she
correctly.
said.
Huh?
He's saying the opposite of what she's trying to say. He's saying you're defining deplatforming as things that you think are bad. That's like the exact opposite. It's a complete straw man and deflection tactic. She's trying to put that on him and not right. What her position is that there's somebody preaching like a harmful ideology according to her, right? Not according to Tjump, but according to her, right? Which is regardless of the TOS. The TOS doesn't say you can't hold a specific view, or there'd be obviously free speech violation, and
Right.
Facebook would be a political. They'd have to file as a political lobby, which Mark Zuckerberg swears to Congress, right, already that it's not. They're a politically neutral company, and
excuse me.
yeah,
Oh my God.
bullshit. But yeah, exactly. Like if they take a political position, like Fox News has and whatnot. They fall under FCC regulation.
Yeah,
right?
but go ahead.
But that's how they get under the government's control. They'll have to give up some of their freedoms to the government if they become a FCC violation. So they want to stay away from politics. But these cancelists like them come in and put pressure. Like they called Zuckerberg up and they put pressure on him, saying like, well, can people run false political ads on us? And can they straw man our political positions like we do to Trump and the media?
Exactly.
But I mean, but can it? Okay, like I was saying earlier, I believe that cancel culture can be oppressive. It can also be abusive as well, right? Just because you have a certain amount of people that agrees to do one thing to one particular person doesn't mean that it's right? I mean, just because they hear an opposing view that they don't like, and everybody sits up there and be like, you know what, we're gonna thumbs down their video. Just because I sent a vast email and be like, everybody who sees this video, this dislike it and stuff. Everybody that's in my sphere of influence, and they don't even watch the video. They just thumbs down it just because one person that is respected in this particular community did a vast email to say, okay, put the thumbs down. I'm just thinking like this. There are some people in this cancel culture that is not making an intelligent decision to align themselves with trying to cancel the very person they're trying to cancel for whatever reason. I think some of it is based on just associating themselves with somebody asking them for a favor to do it, rather than having a legitimate reason to actually do it, to attack the individual and stuff.
Yeah. When you guys are done interrupting Demonmama, the goddess Demonmama, you please let me know.
Now I'm getting misogynistic myself. My bad.
Damn misogynist. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
Right, man. That's a lot of mansplaining there, Cyrus. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm gonna put myself on the timeout right now.
All right, here we go. I'm in full screen and shit. I'm all wrong fucking screen.
Violating TOS isn't deplatforming, but someone being removed because of something in TOS that you don't like is deplatforming. That sounds to me like you've defined deplatforming as when something that you don't like happens, and that doesn't seem like a coherent definition of deplatforming to me. To me, it is much more rational and meaningful, and you can actually have a conversation about deplatforming if you recognize that it is actually a set of actions. There's a broad set of actions, and I would agree that yes, there are examples of deplatforming being unjust, perhaps, or based off of vague TOS, but like deplatforming has many forms. You can't just define deplatforming as when something I don't like happens. That's not a coherent definition. That is what you're saying. You are saying that. I've just asked you 3 times, and you've just
said like governments have deplatformed people. That's bad. Definitely that's bad. And you can't deplatform Nazis who advocate violence. That's perfectly fine. I'm okay with that. But when I'm talking about the bad kind of deplatforming,
you're doing it again.
Yeah, mansplaining.
Is somebody getting banned off of a platform rightfully, is that an example of deplatforming or not?
Sure, in the most general sense, and not the kind
Okay.
I'm arguing against.
Okay, so now we've figured out where it is. You are not actually against deplatforming. You actually support deplatforming when it's just, and you don't support it when it's unjust. So now we can actually change now that we've established the basics and you're no longer contradicting yourself, we can proceed
Well, I was
to
never
talking about
contradicting myself. It's just basic
you
English.
literally were. This is why I was
No,
having a hard time
no.
responding to you, because
Right.
you were saying
You were
that
Tjump.
in your mind it is not deplatforming when somebody gets rightfully banned, but now you have concluded that it is. You've switched your position.
Right. So just being banned is just being banned. Like I wouldn't call that deplatforming. Deplatforming is specifically just leveraging some vague language or taking away someone's right unlawfully. That would be, I usually use the word deplatforming to be the negative. Yes.
So yes, this is what I'm saying. You are arguing. You are saying. Oh my goodness.
So I don't care if you don't understand the language. Here's the difference between killing and murder. They both involve the same act, which is a literal deplatforming. You literally remove someone from the platforming. But deplatforming itself would be more like the murder, the wrong kind.
No. I mean, I disagree. I disagree with this strongly. Like that's like saying, like, I would argue that the word deplatforming is a very broad term. I think every definition, if you look up the term deplatforming online, every single definition would have that as a much more as the broad term. Whereas you could say an unjust deplatforming or a illegal deplatforming would be an example of like what you're saying, a murder. It seems foolish to me to come into a discussion.
Do you think that when someone says we're arguing against deplatforming, we want literally every single human being to have a platform? Do you think that's the argument?
No, I never alleged that. But your argument
is that
when
yes.
What you opened this by saying, and you're still doing it. You're like, I think like you've become confused with your own words. I don't know. Like
no, I know. I understand it better than you do. So, like I said, if I take your understanding correctly, what you're saying is that if someone is against deplatforming, and we accept your definition of deplatforming, then that would mean that we should give every single human being on the planet a platform.
What are you talking about?
What are you actually talking about? If deplatforming means to remove anyone from any platform, and someone is against doing that, removing anyone ever under any circumstances, and that's what is required to be against deplatforming, that's insane.
I think I do you disagree with the idea that deplatforming is when you remove someone when you remove the platform of someone who currently has a platform? Is that not a coherent definition? Like, I feel like you're just...
In the broadest sense, yes, but no one is
Yes,
against...
but that's what we're talking about. That's what I said it out. And if you wanted to be clearer, you could have communicated that, but
zero people who are against deplatforming say that we should give every single person a platform, or we should never, ever take anyone off their platform. That's not a position. No one holds that position.
Okay. So then, do you mind stating your actual position then? Because I'm very confused as to your position.
Like the one I said in the open.
How does he know no one holds that position
you dislike?
Tjump?
Yeah, how does he's making a truth claim. He said no one holds that position. I mean, how does he know that everybody on the planet does not hold that position?
Right. The only person who will know that is God, and Tjump is definitely not fucking God.
Hey! You said the G word, Ray. Slow down, brother. Slow down.
Hey, I'm a weird kind of atheist.
No,
I'm a practicing Johnist. Shoot. I don't know about these fools.
Hey, that's where I was going. You know what I mean? That's where I was going. Because I'm glad you filled in the blanks, bro. Because how in the hell would Tjump? How could that be falsified? What he just said. How does he know? That's the only problem I have with Tjump when I hear him in debate. He makes these generalized statements that appeals to everybody, not a certain segment of people, but every single person. And he has the knowledge, and the knowledge in the affirmative that he's absolutely sure no one else in the world holds this position. Even the people in the Congo, even the people in the jungles, he knows exactly what they are thinking. This is insane. Sorry. My misogynistic ways is going away.
You up in here mansplaining and whatnot? You better stop. You better
I did
stop.
it again.
But no, I
I'm
agree
gonna
with
put
you.
myself on timeout again. Don't worry.
I-
Don't worry.
I agree with you there 100%. I wanted to go back to what he was saying about that because I was just like, because it caught me off guard. I didn't catch it at first.
But that's what we're talking about. That's what I said it
No,
out. And if
no,
you
it's
wanted
not.
to say, if you wanted to be clearer, you could have communicated that. But
So
You're not.
zero people who are against deplatforming say that we should give every single person a platform, or we should never ever take anyone off their platform. That's not a position. No one holds that position.
okay.
0 people against deplatforming. Wait. I mean, all right. So that's what he's talking about. He's not talking about like in the entire world, but people who are against. He's basing it on the topic at hand. There are people who are against the deplatforming, and he's right. I gotta give it to the guy. He's definitely right. I am definitely against deplatforming. When our greatest president of all time, Donald J. Trump, was deplatformed from Facebook and Twitter and other social media sites in the aftermath of his legal battles. Well, I didn't agree with it.
Well, I
But-
mean, maybe you and
Hold
I
on.
can speak about that. I don't know if you want to do that tonight. We can speak about it briefly, or we can do it on another time. It's totally up to you. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I have to say a slight, minor disagreement what you just said, but I would like to explore your reasoning behind it. So I mean, what you believe. That's it.
Oh, that's all good. It's all good.
Okay.
Yeah, we could talk about that. We could talk about that at a later time. I actually, I do
Okay.
have my very own platform where I do speak about politics and whatnot, and I'd be happy to have you on and shit, and we can have a good, congenial conversation and shit.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good.
All right, let's set something up.
So then,
So using
do
that
you
definition
mind?
is
Do you
completely
mind
incoherent.
stating your actual position then? Because I'm very confused as to your position.
Like the one I said in the opening, using vague language to remove someone who has a position you dislike, who've done nothing wrong.
But
taking
you
away
also
someone speaking.
you also defined in your definition, you defined deplatforming as government censorship, and which would be legal in that place. I feel like you have an incoherent definition of deplatforming. But if we want to move forward and we want to talk about different forms of deplatforming, I think that we could maybe we can agree on this particular definition for the purpose of this conversation. Can we agree that we're talking about deplatforming in a broad sense, and then we can drill down as to whether certain examples of deplatforming are good or bad? Because right now, as I feel like we can't proceed, and maybe it is on me, maybe it's on you, but I really don't feel like your definition of deplatforming is conducive to a meaningful debate.
This shouldn't be that hard. It's just general understanding. Like when anyone in like any YouTube says we're against deplatforming, they
How
literally
dare
do
he.
not mean just removing anyone from any platform. They're not using it in the general sense. Can it be used in the general
Well,
sense?
people do all
Yeah.
the time. People talk about people say that Donald Trump was deplatformed, but Donald Trump repeatedly broke
Okay, but
with the
are they-
TOS.
Are
Do you
any
think
of
that
those
he was?
people, do any of those people think we should never ever remove anyone from the platform ever? Is that
I
their
have no
position?
idea.
I am
nor do
so
I care.
fucking
I mean,
triggered.
do
The answer is
you
no.
think?
The
Wait,
answer is no.
here's a quick question. Well, here's a more interesting question. I mean, you're basically. I don't know who you're arguing with or what you're in. Like, I'm very confused as to the way that you're approaching this conversation, because I thought we were here to discuss what the merits of deplatforming and whatnot, and it just seems like you're having a different conversation. So if we're going to talk about a specific example like Donald Trump, like I would say that was a perfectly good, perfectly legitimate form of deplatforming that was not done by a government. It was done instead by, like I defined, a cooperative social act of protest. And in this case, he was also removed. Not only was he removed because he was causing harm for using his platform negatively, but he was also removed because he was violating TOS at such a ridiculous rate that the company decided to remove his platform.
I have
Is
no
that
idea.
something that you would disagree with?
I haven't looked at all into Donald Trump. deplatforming.
Okay, I mean, because that's like, I don't know, like that is one of the biggest examples of deplatforming I can think of in recent memory. I would assume that that would be something important to weigh on. I mean, that's probably the biggest example of deplatforming in the entire world right now.
Again, so I don't care about Donald Trump. I don't research Donald Trump. I do care about deplatforming and when it's wrong. So obviously, do you
have an example of that that we could discuss?
Yes, the examples I used before, like Ben Shapiro and people being kicked off college campuses who are legitimately invited, who've done nothing wrong, who haven't advocated for racism or violence in any case.
Oh, okay. So
wait a minute. Let me pause real quick. Let me pause real quick. Real quick.
Let's ask from a very specific.
Let's ask this question. Let's ask this question real quick. He abhors the fact what happened to Ben Shapiro, right? At the same time, he doesn't give a shit about Donald Trump, even though 71 million people care about Donald Trump. He comes to a platform where you're actually addressing being canceled or being deplatformed, and he has no idea about Donald Trump being deplatformed. He has no fucking clue. Completely oblivious to the most important person that it actually happened to that can literally address this specific topic. You got to be out of your damn mind. He's out of his damn mind. What Kool-Aid is this man drinking? He cannot be serious. Why is it okay? Why is it okay and it's wrong for it to happen to Ben Shapiro and he has his own supporters, right? Trump has his own supporters and the same thing is happening. Dude, this is situational bias and prejudice right here. You know what I'm saying? He can't, dude. I'm not feeling this right now. I'm not. You know what I mean? The bias stinks to high heaven. It stinks to high heaven right now. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to say that. So go ahead.
That's exactly why I didn't take Tjump's side in this. I mean, I agree with him on his points, but that whole Ben Shapiro thing, you know, he's just dangling from his baby nuts and whatnot. And I can't sit with that. But when the greatest president of all time is brought up as an example of deplatforming by the person speaking for deplatforming, and this young woman, Demonmama, clearly does not like Donald Trump. I'm sure she's not a Trump supporter. She uses this as an example. Tjump, you cannot. How? I'm even just as flabbergasted as you are, Cyrus. I'm beside myself because the greatest president of all time was deplatformed. I just mentioned it just before she did. How you not know about this, Tjump? Thought you was a smart man.
That's the thing, and it someone in the comments said that I just draw. Someone in the comments was saying that did I just draw man Tjump? As well read as Tjump is, I'm just saying it behooves me to believe that this man coming into this debate had no idea whatsoever about Donald Trump being deplatformed. And he says he doesn't care. So let's just move on then.
It's an atheist thing. You know, when I brought up the election fraud and whatnot, it was another atheist and whatnot I was going back and forth with on that situation also. And it was as if he didn't care either. You know, I think it's just a white male atheist ego trip or whatnot. You know, they think they're so fucking important, but they're really not.
To a very broad claim. So you were saying that one such tactic of deplatforming is pulling the fire alarms on Ben Shapiro.
Yes.
Yes, I would agree. That is one such tactic of deplatforming, one that I think is not very effective and not very good. But I don't think, but there's other forms of deplatforming. There are many forms of deplatforming. You yourself have admitted to this, but also said that you didn't believe in that. But if we're going to both agree that there are many forms of deplatforming, can we not acknowledge that, like, hey, maybe...
Okay, let's be more specific. It is wrong
Sure.
to deplatform anyone who has not done something illegal and is not advocating for violence.
Okay, so what do you feel about something like, say, what if YouTube took down an account that was, let's just to come up with an extreme, very clear-cut example. What if there was an account that was doing like, say, blackface, and they were making extremely racist, extremely distasteful blackface skits, and that violates YouTube's TOS, but is not illegal under U.S. freedom of speech law. Do you think that that is an example of deplatforming that would be just, or would you believe that is unjust? Because what you just said would indicate that it would be unjust for YouTube to remove that channel.
It's like there has been blackface in many old comedies, and they're perfectly fine. Like forget the major comedians of the 1960s and 70s, not the actual blackface of the 40s. Like if someone just banned you for just using blackface, yes, that would be wrong. If someone was denigrating an entire race deliberately, then and was specifically doing it to aggravate people, then yes, that would be fine.
Wait, so but just to aggravate people is not illegal. You stated that it would need to be illegal. I think, from my position, because I do support deplatforming, and I think that deplatforming is a broad, coherent definition of many different tactics. I would say that that YouTube has every single right to remove a channel that churns out horrifically racist garbage and blackface all the time. You're saying that you're okay with that and that YouTube should not be allowed to remove it.
If it's
Do you really believe that? Like, do you like? I mean, it is, by the way, just to put up one foot in reality, it is against their TOS to do grossly racist things. It is currently against their TOS to do that. But are you saying you don't
care about any of that garbage? I care about political ideas.
Wait, but that's very important. Wait, but those are political ideas. Wait, do you not think that those are political ideas?
Tom, before you respond, I do want to mention, Tom, your mic is a little bit low. For some reason, it seemed like maybe either Demonmama's went a little bit louder during the debate, or yours went a little bit lower.
Hey, Ray, can you get the hold on?
All right, I'll turn it up a bit.
Pause it real quick. That's a good point. Here, check out the man of the fucking hour. Hold up. I got this shit right here. Hey, let's see if this is a good example of that. Oh, wait, hold up. I fucked up. I forgot to share the audio again. Hold on. Let's throw it up. I'm gonna wait till Cyrus gets back so I can get an equal reaction.
I'll be right back, bro. I'm warming up this food. Go ahead. I'll be right there in like 15 seconds. Give me 15 seconds.
Hold on. We gotta cut this. I gotta reshare it because I forgot to add the audio, notoriously for doing that.
I forgot I was muted. I didn't want to be crunching my Doritos. Ladies and gentlemen, today's episode once again is brought to you by Doritos. This is the good kind. This is the regular shit. Regular ass Doritos. Cooler Ranch. The best kind of Doritos. I didn't want to eat all the Cooler Ranch out the box, so I saved myself 3 extra bags.
Y'all know about
all right,
that.
T baby, man. Let's come on, T Vicious, man. Let's go. What you got for me, man? Let me see.
All right. So speaking in light of what she's talking about, let's see this, because y'all know that guy Jimmy Kimmel, right? He does that douchey little night show. Well, this is from Once Upon a Time.
Sometime at night, call below. Sometime at night, Karl Malone look up in sky and say, what the hell going on up there? Do UFO live on other planet, phoning home like E.T.? Karl Malone read on TV about white people getting deducted by aliens, sticking all kind of hell up their butt. And that's a damn thing. Now, Karl Malone never seen no flying saucer himself, but if he do, that's going to be a spooky time. That's why Karl Malone say government got to step up and give 102% to keeping them little green man off this here earth. Because the day them dudes stick something up Karl Malone butt, that ain't going to be no good time for nobody. Listen, E.T., you better stay the hell back.
This is a fake black man, though.
That's fucking hilarious.
Dude, they painted the man in fucking chocolate and stuff.
Hold on, there's more.
You know what I mean?
This isn't the first time Jimmy Kimmel has done this.
In collector's
I
gallery.
don't remember when this.
Y'all got the Beanie Baby?
What?
Beanie Baby?
What about Beanie Baby?
You have them? You carry them?
We don't want them.
Well, come along, looking to buy them, not to sell them.
I don't want them, don't have them, and I'm not interested in them.
Come along, looking to buy them from you, not from selling them from you.
You're not buying them from me because I don't have them.
Yep. Okay, Carmelo know how this work, and he got money. He could grease the right wheels.
Well, honey, I wish you a lot of luck. I'm not interested in this call. You have a nice day. Goodbye.
Yep. Okay, then.
Bye-bye.
What about Barbie doll?
What do you have?
Carmelo don't have nothing. He's looking to buy some Christmas Barbie doll.
Which ones are you interested in?
Well, some of them beautiful Barbie.
Okay, honey, there's a million Barbie dolls.
Okay.
If you tell me what type you want, I may have them.
Okay, then. What about them Malibu? Carmelo remember his sister used to have a Malibu Barbie. And Carmelo used to look at that Malibu Barbie and go, what the heck? Look at this here. This little Barbie doll.
Okay. Are you locally?
Yep. This little Barbie.
Are you a local man?
Okay, hold on. Could I ask you one thing about here? Y'all got the Beanie Baby?
You asked me the same question.
All right, go on. Now look at Jimmy Kimmel.
He's still on the air. What did he say? What did Dad say?
All right, now what happened with Jimmy Kimmel right there? You think that Jimmy Kimmel should be canceled for that?
Nah.
What
It was fucking hilarious. It was funny.
Not for that. See, there's a fundamental difference between, mimicking Karl Malone versus blackface. I think there's a fundamental difference between that. You know what I mean? Putting this extra dark skin and these extra big lips and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And looking at the era where they actually did it, it was happening during the time where, through the subjugation of African Americans and stuff. You know what I mean? So I just think, I don't feel comfortable with even supporting counseling him on that, because look, if that was the case, if what he did was wrong and worthy of counseling Jimmy Kimmel, we have to also counsel the Wayans brothers for imitating white women.
No, but that shit was hella funny.
You can't. It's BS, man. It's BS. But go ahead, bro.
Let's see this shit. Hold on.
He took the words right out of my mouth.
Man, let's get for real.
My first idea was in 1/4 of an hour you're saving.
No, but that wasn't.
Yo,
that was funny.
YouTube Premium, dog. What's up with this ad bullshit? You got ads. Why you got ads?
Somebody go ahead and pay that $5.
15 minutes, 15% serendipity.
Geico.
No, but that shit had Terry Crews in there, and it's funny. It's
Yeah,
funny.
man. That movie was funny as shit. It was just like real shit. It was funny. Like when you imitating specific people. See, and that's the thing with the Wayans. When they were playing those two white girls, they weren't imitating white people. They were, but they were imitating a specific person. Just like within Tropic Thunder, Robert Downey Jr.'s character, he was imitating a specific person. Yeah, they could have gotten a black actor to play that person, but they got the best actor in the world at that point in time in the movie to play that character, which is fucking weird in and of itself. But I wouldn't cancel Robert Downey Jr. for his fucking role in that movie. He was the dude, played a dude disguised as another dude. Like, I mean, that's the fucking joke.
But Ray, let's be honest.
Fascinating man, and
look at this is where he's gonna sit down with the mailman and he's gonna kiss the cancer culture ass hardcore, just like Eminem giving Elton John a hug.
All right, go. What was you saying, Cyrus?
Basketball for me.
I was just saying real quick. White folks have been playing Indians and Egyptian people in movies for years. You know what I'm saying? They've been doing it. Go back to the to Moses, the 10 Commandments back in the 70s. Look at all the Middle Eastern people who did not have dark skin. Not at all. But fast forward to the day, now everybody wants to put dark skin on themselves. It doesn't make any sense. It makes no damn sense whatsoever. Back in the day, Cleopatra was pale as a white horse. You know what I mean? Cleopatra had blue eyes in the Middle East.
Right.
This doesn't make no sense. You know what I mean? So they've been doing the same thing. Now all of a sudden it's fast forwarding. Now it's okay now. Right, but like I said, the fundamental difference between blackface versus what they were trying to do is specifically insulting to a specific race. Blackfaces. Yeah. They were trying to say this is how we act collectively. This is saying that collectively we act like monkeys and stuff. You know what I mean? And it's yes sir, yeah boss and stuff. That's what they were projecting. And that's what is specifically wrong. That's what's wrong. And if you can distinguish the difference between those two, then something is wrong with you.
Yep. Because I grew up on that Karl Malone skit. I'm gonna be honest, and that shit was fucking funny as hell. Funny as fuck. I grew up on the Man Show. Shit, Jimmy Kimmel need to grow up. All right, Taylor, let's show this.
That demonic narratives. Like you watch. I'm gonna play the Kanye West one too, because Kanye West still getting demonized and shit for the shit he did back in Katrina. And Michael Myers, like you remember that shit? When Michael Myers is standing there and he makes the face. But when they interview Michael Myers like, "You worried about my face?" This motherfucker stood up and fucking said that. He had some serious fucking balls, and yeah, I'm reacting because I wasn't expecting it. But I was like, if you couldn't pay me enough money to be standing there, I'm honored and privileged to be standing next to him when he said that shit, because that was fucking bold, right? He didn't know about the Kanye West that would come in the future, obviously, but look at the Michael. I'll show you the Michael Myers interview after that. He wasn't saying bad anything. He's like, I'm glad that he said that, and I was happy. I'm proud that I was actually standing there. I don't give a fuck my reaction. Yeah, you would have reacted the same way because that shit was off the hook. But they still.
Did you see Michael Myers apologize how he looked at him though? When he made the statement, he was shocked. His eyes was getting ready to fall on the floor.
Yeah.
But they made Kanye apologize for that. They made him
because he insulted the president of the United States, bro. That's why.
That's all. We just insult years on media doing that shit every day.
Yeah.
George Bush doesn't care about black people. That's not insulting the president of the United States.
Nah, fuck George Bush. I don't like George Bush. That nigga tanked the economy.
Yeah, Bush was on the fucking hook. He had us living in fucking destitute poverty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fuck Bush. My bad. I love Donald Trump. But
Karl Malone. Karl Malone has a unique perspective on most everything. So I sat down with Karl for a series of chats to find out just what the heck happening in Karl Malone's brain. This is all alone with Karl Malone.
Oh, Karl Malone's still alive?
Yeah.
We're here with Karl Malone. Karl Malone, when you're the mailman, I mean, there's nobody else. Let's be honest, that would even want that nickname because it's a weird nickname to have, right?
No.
It's not. So when you're at home
Yes, sir.
and the mail comes to your house, the guy with the, I assume it's a guy.
Okay.
You know him?
No.
You don't know your mailman?
No.
Well, that seems odd. Don't you think he'd want to? I mean, that's got to be a big thing for him. He's like, hey, I'm the mailman. I'm delivering to the mailman.
They're the real ones.
Yeah, the real ones.
I was just got a nickname.
So you feel no kinship with postal carriers, the U.S. Postal Service at all?
Absolutely.
You do?
Yes.
But you don't know who.
But I got a big question.
What is the question?
It ain't the male men and women fault.
Whose fault is it?
Well, you ain't let me finish what I'm about to say.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
How do our postal service lose $1, $2, $3 billion a year and still stay in business?
Right, because you as a mailman, you made a lot of money. You still make a lot of money. You didn't lose money.
How you know I make a lot of money?
I read in the newspapers.
You believe that?
You have an auto dealership.
Do you believe what you read in the newspaper?
In this case, yes.
So here's a rule. Don't believe nothing you read.
Okay.
And have your eyes could be lying to you.
You're not making any money?
I don't believe nothing.
How do you know that? And I said, well, I read it. And you said, don't believe it. And I said, well, are you making money? You said, yes. Okay. So in this case, we can believe it.
Well,
But this
I
is
really like
you
this debate.
don't understand how the Postal Service is in a way disgracing your name by losing money every year.
Well, I guess you can say.
Would you be willing to help them?
Yes.
You would.
Any way I could.
Well, I hope the Postmaster General is listening. The mailman is here, delivering, he wants to help you. How would you help the post office?
Well, we would have a conversation and say, okay, why do we get brand new postal trucks every couple years?
I don't know. The postal trucks on my block seem to be about 30 years old.
Well,
There's a guy pushing it with one leg up the hill.
You're going to hell.
I'm going to hell.
Yes.
Well, this
You're
is
talking
bad
about
news.
you're talking about a one-legged postal?
No, he's got two legs. They're just using one. You know, there's no door on the thing. Oh, Karl Malone, we are miscommunicating.
No, you are going to hell, Jimmy.
Well, that may be true.
I'll be there with you.
How do you know that? Did you read that?
What?
Then I'm going to hell.
No, just making fun of a person. Pushing.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, you did. How you say he was doing it?
I said he was.
How did you say he was doing it?
I don't know. Just like riding a skateboard.
Go ahead, in your chair. What are you doing? I see. You're going to hell.
He's right. I am going to hell.
I'm going with you.
Thank you, Karl Malone. Thanks, Karl. I'll see you in hell. Thanks for.
Hold on, I want to see the apology. This fucking Jimmy Kimmel is like the epitome of this. He had his big career back in the day. Oh, they got Jimmy Kimmel and hold on, I'll get this one later. Cause you don't remember, you remember the band show back in the day? You remember that shit on Comedy Central? Before Jimmy Kimmel used to be a nobody. He used to be the co-host on the Ben Shine show. He didn't have no anything. And then him and Adam Carolla did this show called The Man Show. I remember it very well. Cause that shit was funny. And it was everything that the liberal left hates. It was misogynistic. It was all these fucking negative words and shit. And Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, and they've been apologizing, just like bold-faced lie, apologizing for everything. Well, the show was always tongue-in-cheek. We were just fucking around, right? Him and Adam Carolla go on the Bill Maher show in character with two feminists talking about a book, and they maintained their character the whole time, like they were serious. I'll show that in a minute. The audio's off, Ray. No audio for Ray. But she's saying that shit like that. They should cancel this.
We need your audio, Ray.
Yep. You muted. Maybe your phone, your headset's dead probably.
Your headset is bullying you, Ray.
Yeah, unplug it, plug it back in, Ray. We're having technical difficulties. Oh, now he's muted. Nope, no audio. And you're in control of the damn video too. Well, I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play this.
Might you not need to go out and come back in, though, Ray?
Yeah, I'm gonna play the Jimmy Kimmel apology while he's out there smoking. But see, this is the Jimmy Kimmel apology. 20 years ago, Jimmy Kimmel apologizes.
Time and time again, I think there are different levels of blackface. And here's what I mean by that. I'm not a big Jimmy Fallon fan. I never have been. I just think he's talentless, and I don't think he's funny. That's just my personal opinion. With that being said,
his Chris Rock impression was good, Brian.
With that being said, he decided to wear blackface and do a Chris Rock impersonation. He contacted Chris Rock before doing that skit. Chris Rock gave him the okay. And I didn't think there was anything hateful about what Jimmy Fallon did. In fact, I thought it was funny. Now, if you do what Ralph Northam did and you dress up as blackface, and by the way, I don't care if you were 20 years old or 80 years old. If you dress up as blackface next to a Klan member, someone dressed as a Klan member, that is racist. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat. That is racist.
Well, why would you even do that?
But what I'm trying to say
under what
here,
circumstances do you think it seems reasonable to dress up with black on your face?
There's a lot of things that people do
next to someone who is clearly in the Ku Klux Klan.
Well, there are a lot of people. Well, someone who's dressed up as a Ku Klux Klan member. There's no evidence.
Were they acting?
Yes, it was a costume. He wore a Klan outfit. That's at least allegedly. That's what happened in this yearbook. But anyway, I digress here. The point I'm trying to make is this: there are different levels of wearing blackface. Now, would I do it in today's society? No, probably not. We're at different times now than they were in the 90s, right? Or even 10 years ago, for that matter. But I don't think it's the right thing to do. But there are different levels. And now we have all these stories coming out, things that happened 10, 20, 30 years ago. Now there are different levels of blackface, like I said. But I am going to take Jimmy Kimmel's side on this one. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, let me explain quickly what took place here. So Jimmy Kimmel, late night host, had to apologize yesterday for what he called an embarrassing portrayal of black celebrities. In his statement, Kimmel wrote, "I have long been reluctant to address this, as I knew doing so would be celebrated as a victory by those who equate apologies with weakness and cheer for leaders who use prejudice to divide us." Clearly, he's talking about Donald Trump in that message. But what he did is he did an impersonation of Karl Malone, of course, the Hall of Famer who played for the Utah Jazz. So we do have a little tidbit of this. And again, this is a skit dating back to 1999 from a show that I used to enjoy very much. It was called The Man Show back in the day. So this is Jimmy Kimmel dressed up in blackface doing his impersonation of the power forward, the mailman, Karl Malone. Have a listen to this.
Sometime at night, Karl Malone look up in sky and say, "What the hell going on up there? Do UFO live on other planet, phoning home like ET?" Karl Malone read on TV about white people getting deducted by alien, sticking all kind of hell up their butt. And that's a damn thing. Now, Karl Malone never seen no flying saucer himself, but if he do, that's going to be a spooky time.
All right, so there are levels of racism and there are levels of wrong. I'm going to be very clear on this. What Jimmy Kimmel did is not racist. It's not wrong. It was back in 1999 on The Man Show. And I would not even come close to equating it to what Ralph Northam did, who, by the way, happens to be a Democrat. And I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat. Wrong is wrong, right is right. Jimmy Kimmel not only is a...
Yeah, where did he actually apologize for this shit? This is the news about it. Ray, you back yet?
It was a great show. Jimmy did a great job. That's part of the fun. It's like almost like asking what the One, two, three. One, two, three. One, two, three. Sway a little more to the left.
Is he ever going to apologize for this shit or what?
I'm patiently waiting to hear. He's been saying he's what he's gonna do.
More clickbait. Bunch of fucking clickbait. They say Jimmy Kimmel apologized, but I can't find his apology.
I think you're right, bro. It's clickbait, man. Because it
Oh,
shouldn't
no,
take
here
that
it is.
long to get to the damn point.
He's like, look, I'm friends with Karl Malone. Karl Malone, Karl Malone. All right. Ray, you back?
All right, I'm gonna use my phone's mic until I can figure out what's going on my headset. The crazy part is I can still hear you guys. Like I can hear you guys through the headset. So what I'm gonna use is my phone mic, and I'm gonna still sign in with my other profile. My laptop. What the fuck's going on with my fucking mouse all of a sudden?
Just fucking give a Twitter apology or something like that. But Jimmy Kimmel's a fucking
Why apologize? Why apologize for something that you felt you did not do wrong? That's the part I don't understand.
He joined the cancel culture tail when he jumped on the bandwagon with all the leftists and shit on the Tonight Show and the Daily Show and shit like that. All the leftist media that took over the country with cancel culture, and lo and behold, they all got Epstein flight lists. They all got fucking blackface comedies. Right, Jimmy Kimmel's off the hook. Like this fucker went on a serious show. Hold on, where's the man show versus the feminist? I'll find it. But these fuckers try to say that the man show is tongue in cheek. I'm pretty sure Adam Carolla, who helped him with that show, does not agree with him. But Jimmy Kimmel, I'm sure he caught shit for this.
Yeah, my mic is just like not working. But I'm out of the studio anyway.
You got it back up.
I can hear you guys, but I can't hear. Yeah, I'll be hearing myself talk, which is sad. It's fuck.
So Kimmel. So Kimmel had a brief moment of empathy due to the pressure of the cancel culture, but he didn't feel that years ago. Didn't feel anything. Didn't feel wrong about it at all. What he did, but only because. So only thing I'm saying is, it seems like he's more moved by the pressure rather than actually having any degree of sincerity. That's what I'm saying.
This is zeitgeist
about what he done.
It's from the zeitgeist. You got the. You done? What happened to your audio?
Bring that back. Bring that back. I'm using this as my audio. Terrible.
Give us free. So your headset's done?
I don't know what's going on with it. I'm gonna try to fix it.
You had the debate.
So
we're just watching Jimmy Kimmel.
All right, yeah, I'm bringing the debate back on. Hold on. I'm about to put my headphones. I should have used those instead, but they're like on loud. Yeah. I also made sure I shared the audio.
Oh, here it is. Hold on. I got the best shit. I'll throw this shit up.
So
this is back in the day. Oh, what the fuck? What's this?
Jimmy Kimmel, Ellen Fine, and Sherry Schneider.
All right, let's get up. I know they are the co-authors of the mega bestseller, The Rules. The new sequel is called The Rules 2. Sherry Schneider and Ellen Fine. Girls.
So these are a couple feminists.
How are you? Pleasure to meet you. Thank you for being here. Hi. How are you? Then they are the co-hosts of The Man Show, premiering June 16th on Comedy Central. Adam Carolla and Jimmy Kimmel, boys.
You guys hear me?
Yeah. All right. Ladies? All right. Can you guess?
All right, I'm gonna
who's on what
reset my
team?
laptop.
Okay, so now I'll admit that when the rules first came out, we were back on Comedy Central, where you guys are going to be with your show. We had our fun with it, but I mean, this obviously has struck a huge nerve. It is beyond a bestseller. It has become part of the lexicon of America. So you've done something right, and you've hit a nerve. And if you don't know what basically the rules is about, it's about getting a guy to behave. And for example, I'm just going to read from the flap. I'm not trying to summarize the whole book. There's a whole book. There's 2 of them you should buy if you're interested. But don't talk to a man first. Don't meet him halfway. Don't accept a Saturday night date after Wednesday. It kind of reminds me of the airlines. And my first question is, if you got a guy from doing this, could you ever really respect him?
I don't think they're interested in respecting. They want the marriage. They want the house. I mean, does the Eskimo have to respect the dog that yanks the sled? He just cracks the whip. He just wants to get the hell out of Anchorage.
Look at this shit.
I mean, listen, does a used car salesman respect the sap that buys the junk that he's selling? He just wants to move it off the lot and get the next sucker in there.
So you see the analogy. You're in the Iditarod and you're a used car salesman.
We've heard it all before.
Yeah. And do you have any answers you come up with, or?
We actually don't speak, but we wrote a book and that's all we can do. No, actually, we respect people that respected our boundaries and our self-esteem when we were dating them. So sure, what's the problem? And we can definitely love people that called us on before Wednesday for Saturday. What's the problem with that? I want to know what's the problem.
The problem is that the whole book is about tricking guys into getting married.
So you've read it. Have you read the book?
Yeah, I did read that
What's
piece
the
of crap.
problem?
Yeah.
Look at that shit. Look at the mansplaining this shit to the feminists.
Come on.
Okay.
I'm waiting until it comes in Papa. You know what I like best about the rules? And this is the sign of an excellent book. A lot of exclamation points.
Jimmy, what? You're going to make me cross over to their side.
Yeah, look at that shit.
Well, it's not a piece of crap. It's
yeah, that's your Jimmy. That's your guy on the Tonight Show. Liberals. Good for you.
That's amazing.
That's it. Yeah, they all got these. They all got skeletons in the closet. I'm telling you, man. Back in the 90s,
I guarantee you, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong. If an African American said anything remotely like that, you know what I mean, insulting a person's book and stuff, you know what I mean, we would lose our show. Let's just go travel back a little bit down the memory lane. Do you guys remember Arsenio Hall?
Yeah.
Okay, remember Arsenio Hall? Remember when he got canceled? He got deplatformed because he had Louis Farrakhan on there.
Yeah. I remember Arsenio Hall getting canceled several times.
He got canceled because he had Louis Farrakhan on there. You know, Louis Farrakhan as a guest didn't say any. He didn't say anything that was remotely wrong or anything that was politically insensitive. He was just speaking the truth, and all of a sudden got canceled and stuff. But if a person sits up here nowadays and even appears like they anti-feminist, anti-gay, you know what I mean, anti whatever specific religion, that is the criteria that these people have to legitimizing canceling you and stuff. I just think it's a hypersensitive culture that we live in. It's not fair at all.
It's going to be a minute before I get the debate back on, guys. I'm sorry about that. I had to restart my laptop. Yeah. I'm terrible. I don't know. My laptop just was like, yeah, dog, you haven't reset me in like 1,000 years. Why don't you do it now? And then I don't know what's going on with these fucking headphones, but I'm gonna get me a new pair soon, eventually.
Tricking men into getting married. He said 6 months of no one. That's it. I don't remember that because I was a little kid back in '99, but I do remember watching that as a little kid back in '99. I remember Bill Maher's show, Politically Incorrect, and he'd always have these controversial topics. And that's what the feminists were controversial back in the day. So we got our fucking zeitgeist people right here that they're going to be like, oh, yeah, we're anti-feminist. Right now, here 20-something years later, right, 22 years later, it's not so controversial. It's the mansplainers are controversial. So lo and behold, Jimmy Kimmel is back on he's like, well, no, it's 20 years later, I got to be on the right team.
Yeah, right. I wonder where Adam Carolla stands on this today.
They canceled Kanye for the Taylor Swift. They canceled Kanye for his speech or his little ad lib.
But Jimmy doesn't get canceled though.
Yeah, and these white devils are getting away with everything.
Hey, you know what? Let me just say this publicly, Muhammad. I have asked you to go on live with me to actually debate with the apostate prophet and Muhammad Hijab. I spoke to you for over 3 hours, and you never even accepted or not. So I don't understand that, man. If you don't want to put your face on the screen and stuff like that and address the people and publicly prove me wrong, which you could easily do, but you refuse to do it, I wonder why. I don't mind getting embarrassed. I don't mind somebody stating the fact that I was incorrect on it. But the fact of the matter is that you don't want to go watch the video and see your beloved scholar, Islamic scholar, make rape allegations and stuff, and then him say nothing about it and things like that. You don't want to sit up there and do it publicly. What do you want? What else you want me to do? You rather just have the discussion private. So fine. Let's just continue to not expose this to the people and stuff. You made a comment in the comment section. I addressed that like hours ago. hours ago, bro, and I even sent you the video that you still refuse to watch. I did not come on here and before this and tell Taylor, hey, as soon as Muhammad says something, tell him that you know about the rape allegations that I'm speaking about. But how come Taylor knew about it when I was talking about it? And he said, yes, they were talking about that, confirming what I told you before in the comment section. The very thing that you said, you don't even know, you never seen. You kept giving me laugh emojis and stuff like that. I don't even understand this, man. So Muhammad, man, respectfully, if you ever want to do it, let's you and me get on the public platform and we both watch the video and we just go through it. And you can easily prove me a liar. You could easily prove me a liar if you desire to do that. But if you just want to be a private person, you don't want to expose it, then fine. You know what I mean? Some people are more reserved than others. So let me just leave it at that.
All right, and even better news. Laptop's fully rebooted.
All right.
I'll pop on in. Oh my god. Let's see, hopefully this works. Hopefully. No.
You got the video back up?
Hold on, hold on. I gotta log in. I gotta climb back into the StreamYard with my laptop first. Let me get that up real quick.
You gotta throw that shit up eventually.
OnlyFans. Sorry. Oh, what the fuck?
What happened?
No, I'm just trying to find the link to the video. I got it. All right. Just wanted to get the video up first before I throw it all up in there. My mic's not working. But it's all right. Let's see here. Enter studio.
Got this shit back.
There we go.
Lost the debate. And we went off on a wild tangent on media figures. Hold on, what's this going on? And there's all kinds of shit from Young Muhammad in the comments. You jump on my YouTube channel and let's go live. I didn't even know Young Muhammad had a fucking YouTube channel. What's your channel, man? Post a link in here.
Yeah. Publicize.
I've been watching it forever. I haven't seen your channel yet.
There's like 2 billion Muslims that's named Muhammad and stuff, man. Can you be more specific and just say what your channel is? Because I can go on your channel and we can debate it. We can debate this thing live. So yeah, I'd love to do that with you. Shouldn't take that long to put it in the comment section. If you have one. Well, Taylor, let me know whenever he decides to share his YouTube channel.
Yeah, throw it up in the comments.
You keep saying, Cyrus, let's do this shit. How can I do anything where me doing anything is contingent on you giving me information? If you don't give me information, I can't do the shit that you're asking me to do. Can you please give me the information to your channel, and I would love to be a guest on your channel. We can talk about whatever you desire. We can talk about it. Ray, if someone asks you about your YouTube channel, how long does it take you to put in the comment section? Hey, bro.
Not very long at all. Not maybe like 3 minutes, 2 minutes at the most. You know.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot less time than it would for me to get this headset figured out.
But for some reason, Muhammad is having a real hard time. Extremely. There he is. All right, Muhammad. Let's set up a date and time, man.
Yeah, set it up.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. All right. Are we gonna put the video back on, Muhammad? Tell me what day and time.
Oh, there it is.
We can make it happen, bro.
I got it. Hopefully we're at the same time.
He did it. Took him a whole good 7 minutes to do that. He probably had to pray 5 times before.
Yeah, I got it back on. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Right.
1 foot in reality. It is against their TOS to do grossly racist things. It is currently against their TOS to do that. But are you saying that you don't
care about any of that garbage? I care about political ideas.
Wait, but that's very important. Wait, but those are political ideas. Wait, do you not think that those are political ideas?
Tom, before you respond, I do want to mention, Tom, your mic is a little bit low. For some reason, it seemed like maybe either Demonmama's went a little bit louder during the debate or yours went a little bit lower. So just to make sure you're balanced.
All right, I'll turn it up a bit.
I think that's better.
So I'm not concerned like with comedy sketches. I don't know how those count as political ideas. I want to make it illegal, essentially, to ban someone for talking about an idea, a political idea, and expressing an opinion that you dislike. That's the part of the deplatforming that is wrong. Like if someone is genuinely being racist and stoking like hate and violence, sure, that's fine. I don't care. That's essentially the same as hate speech, which would be illegal in America. So that is illegal.
Well, many forms of hate speech are not illegal in America. They're just not liked socially, or they're punished socially. We have many, many ways. I mean, America's free speech laws are quite generous by the world standards. And there are all kinds of things that would be classified as hate speech elsewhere that are allowed here. I mean, I don't even think I said it was just a comedy show either. Like, what if you just had a show where all that they did was just read out factual but out of context statements, or while doing blackface, while actively making fun of and making political statements about Black people in America? Is that the sort of thing that you would say should not be able to be removed because they're making political speech while doing something horrifically damaging and offensive? Like, do you not believe that like you can influence things without explicitly stating like, hello, this is the racist channel? Like, to me, it seems very obvious that someone's messaging can be taken in whole, and that they don't have to literally say like, hello, I'm logging in to tell you to go do bad things. They can simply imply that very heavily with everything that they do, and that YouTube would be well within their rights to say, this is not the type of stuff we want on our website.
Yeah, sure. So that still seems like hate speech to me. Still probably would classify as hate speech. I'm talking about things like Ben Shapiro. That this is
okay, but well, I mean, you do realize that many of the things that Ben Shapiro has said in the past, like when he said that, and let me just, I think I have this quote right here. I don't know if this is word for word, but I believe he said that Palestinians, and this is a quote, so please don't get mad at me. This is not me saying this. This is Ben Shapiro, said that Palestinians are animals who live in open sewage. I believe was one of the statements he made on Twitter. Would you classify that as hate speech?
I have no idea. I can't comment on something I've never heard him say.
Okay, because these are available public statements that he's made on Twitter, for example, and Twitter does have rules against that type of hate speech. And yet, as of now, he still has a platform on there. But many people would argue that he shouldn't have a platform because of statements like that.
Everything I've heard him say is just logical criticism of the different ways the politics have been engaged.
Okay, so
do you want I've never heard him say anything racist.
Do you want me to bring up that a photo of that? Because I can share that on the screen if you want me to bring some of the statements he's made about Palestinians in the past.
Sure, I guess.
Let me get that for you. If you have something else you want to say while I bring that up, I'll get that real quick.
Yeah, so as far as I'm concerned, someone presenting a political idea and saying something stupid occasionally still would qualify as perfectly fine. You shouldn't ban them because they said one stupid thing or a few stupid things occasionally that can be interpreted in such a way. As long as what their platform is there for is to present ideas that you disagree with, it's wrong to ban them. You should be addressing what they're saying.
So how can I can share my screen here. Let me just bring this up real quick. One moment.
Make sure you share the audio. Oh gosh. I hate hearing myself. This means I have to talk slow.
So we can see your screen share, Demonmama, but we can't hear you. I'm not sure if you accidentally...
There we go. How's that? Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So this is an example of the tweet. By the way, this was the first screenshot I can find of it, but this is one of many tweets he made during this particular period, and all of them are available on the Internet Archive. Here he says, Ben Shapiro says, Israelis like to build. Arabs like to bomb crap and live in open sewage. This is not a difficult issue. So this is the sort of thing. And by the way, there's many of these.
I don't see anything wrong with this.
I'm sorry. You don't see anything wrong with saying something like Arabs like to bomb crap and live in open sewage?
Yes. So the Israelis
would you? Okay, wait. If that's true,
launching rockets into.
Hold on a second. Wait. Please, hold on. Before you go off on another thing, I'm going to stop sharing my screen at this point.
I want to address exactly this tweet. So this tweet, Arabs like to bomb crap, which he's referencing the fact that rockets are being shot into Israel. So that's true. And live in sewage is a reference to the economic situation and the fact that the government doesn't do anything to stop the terrorism and to build social healthcare like the Israelis are. So yes, both of those don't. Neither of those seem to be like racist. It's talking about the politics.
Okay. Well, real quick, if that's true, would you mind repeating that statement? But instead saying in your own words, would you mind just stating in your own words? If you don't believe that's racist, would you mind just restating that in your own words? So that we can get you on record as saying that you do believe that. You do believe that it is a true statement in your mind.
So it is a true statement that the Palestinians are launching rockets into Israel, so they like to
that's not what we're saying, though. I would like you to restate exactly what he said because you said you agree with it and you don't think it's racist. So if that's true, I'm asking you to put your money where your mouth is.
Palestinians like to bomb crap, or the Hamas likes to bomb crap.
Okay. Well, thank you.
And their government is crappy and doesn't care about healthcare, so they like to live in sewage.
Okay, so I think that we've kind of gotten to the point here. If you don't think that there's any problems with that statement that anybody could have issues with, and you also are willing to repeat it yourself, I'm very impressed you are willing to put your
Let me say this real quick. Tjump is stepping into real murky water here. He's basically saying that what Ben Shapiro's tweet was stating about the Palestinians, Ben Shapiro didn't word his tweet correctly. Yeah, that was racist. No, he used a blanket term for the entire Middle East. Arabs. Not very specific. He said Arabs. Now, I'll give him some leeway because he is fucking Jewish. But at the end of the day, that shit was fucking racist. And Tjump, when you say Arabs, you're talking about the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Iranians, who's the other motherfuckers? Oh, Iraq. They're not lobbing rockets at Israel. Palestine is. And whether they're Arab or not is of no issue with me. They're Palestinian. Ben Shapiro said Arabs. Arabs. Okay? He didn't say Palestinians. He didn't say Israelites. He said Arabs. He didn't say fucking Martians. He said Arabs. So, yeah, this is the problem with these white male atheists that are too smart for their own good. He didn't even read the tweet. He didn't even let it process in his brain correctly. He just start flapping at the gums and opening his fucking mouth because way too many people told him that he was smart. And I think that's your problem right now, Tjump. There's too many people told you were smart, but I think he's a smart guy. But right now, I don't see that shit happening.
Ray, allow me to push back on this real quick. You can be a master of one particular argumentation. That doesn't universally apply to every other distinct subject and stuff, right? So in this case, in this particular topic, he's talking out of his ass. I don't even think he's thinking about what he's saying before he talks and stuff. You know what I mean? Talking about philosophy, talking about some scientific theories and stuff like that. He's good. He's good on that. But brother, this has shit to do with scientific theories at all or philosophy. This is he's
out of his element.
He's out of his element, and he's totally talking about a very sensitive subject, and he is classifying a certain demographic of people. And I think he's saying it wrongly. I dare say, I could be wrong, but I dare say that he is classifying them wrongly. He's saying Hamas, they're throwing missiles. I wouldn't disagree with that. That Hamas is sending missiles. I do believe that's what they're doing and stuff. But
he didn't read the tweet.
Yeah.
See, I understand the direction he's coming from, but he didn't read the tweet. And he's not seeing what the problem is, what the tweet is.
No, remember, he said that he didn't. He also admitted he didn't look at the tweet.
Yeah, no, but Shorty just showed it, so I'm sure he looked at the screen. And if he didn't bother to look at it, she read it out for him, and that did not process in his brain what Ben Shapiro wrote. Sorry, that sound weird, but this thing playing in my ears is fucking with me.
It's all good, bro.
Oh my god, I just want my shit to work. Oh, hold on, let me see something. I might be able to fix this.
You are good, bro.
All right, let's see. So I get it curtailed here. Let's see if StreamYards reads my mic. Testing. No. Still hear myself. Well, I'll just try to ignore it and just talk. But yeah, I know where he's coming from when he's speaking about the Hamas, but like he's totally ignoring her point on the tweet. And that tweet is generalized all Arabs as people who live in filth and lob rockets and shit, bomb things, as Ben Shapiro was saying.
Yeah, but isn't that a fact that on the surface that Hamas is actually doing that? I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
Isn't
yeah.
it?
Yeah.
I mean, but it's also a fact that Israel
Hamas is in all Arabs.
it's also sending rockets as well. I don't know who started it. Maybe that's a whole nother show or something like that. But I'm not really too clear on who started it and who's defending who is defending themselves versus the person who are the aggressors.
Yeah. I mean, you know, fucking I see where she's coming from. The tweet is a broad stroke against Arabs. Ben Shapiro is not specific in it at all. Tjump is just being woefully ignorant, and he didn't even look at the tweet and probably closed his ears when she read it. So I think he's making a grievous error in even trying to answer this question in the first place.
Bishop Shapiro should just allowed himself to be
Ben Shapiro?
educated, and then just took a moment to actually internalize the information that was given before he made a comment. Because if he wasn't aware of it and stuff, and if somebody just gave him new information, I think his emotions got the best of him, and that he ended up saying something that was foolish.
Yeah.
I think the emotions got the best of Tjump at that moment.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
My bad.
I'm impressed you're willing to put your words there and say that, but I think that most people out there, and maybe I'm wrong, and I'll appeal to the chat for a lot of this.
What do you think is wrong with it?
What do I think is wrong with it? Oh, yes. I think that making a statement about all people, like saying all Arabs live in open sewage, is a disgustingly racist statement. It is akin to.
Do you think that's the point he was making? Is that the point?
I don't care what the point he was making was. Why does the point matter when you use language that is explicitly stating that an entire group of people is bad? I would say that's very bad. It's also explicitly in violation of Twitter's TOS. Twitter's,
he's not saying
excuse me,
that's not what he's saying.
Excuse me. Twitter's TOS explicitly states that they do not allow the broad generalization or hatred thrown towards groups of people, which Arabs are a group of people. That is a entire ethnic and racial group on the planet. And I'm sure, we now know how you feel about Arabs, but which is a little bit weird to me and odd.
No, again, this is the problem right here, is that you're completely misrepresenting everything.
How is that misrepresent? How am I misrepresenting anything?
Because it's a shorthand for Hamas, the Hamas government, the people, the Arab government.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Do you think that any time like a racist uncle goes?
So Ray Taylor, maybe people seen it on the screen, but can we just one of us read the tweet out loud just for clarification purposes? Because the audience can know if they haven't seen it, if they just came in on the show, you know what I mean? And can somebody just read that out loud just for context purposes?
It's probably gonna be racist.
There we go. Israel's like to build. Oh, no, it's my fault. Israelis like to build. Arabs like to buy a bomb. Israelis like to build. Oh my God! Fucking thing. Go away. Israelis like to build. Arabs like to bomb crap and live in open sewage. This is not a difficult issue. Hashtag settlements rock.
Yeah, I've seen this.
So okay, is that not a superiority complex there, and then demonizing a
Right.
complete one group of people? You know what I mean? So I can totally understand the argumentation from Demonmama right now. She's absolutely correct. You know what I mean? This is completely an insensitive comment.
Yeah.
It completely is. There's no mistake about it. He totally demonized all Arabs.
And it went right over Tjump's head.
It did.
It
Because
went over his
a
head.
majority of Tjump is a majority insensitive about 98% of the things he says. So I'm not really surprised. But go ahead, Ray Bay. What were you saying, bro?
No, I said all I need to say. It went right over his head. I like to think of Tjump as a smart guy, and as you said, yeah, he's smart in certain avenues. This right here is not his bread and butter. And she showed him the tweet. She read it to him. It went over his fucking head. The point she's trying to make, and he's sitting here talking about Hamas. All Arabs are not Hamas.
Right. It's like, bro, let's disassociate Hamas and their ethnic background from the whole ethnicity of all the people who are Arabs. It's like, dude, you can't make that connection. Are you not, dude? It's like, dude, and the fact that he refused to even address it is just alarming, bro. And this is the reason why I'm saying that he is coming from an emotional point of view rather than a logical point of view.
Yeah. So he's trying to break it down, be all specific about it and shit. But see, and I was, you know what? I was coming into this review, being sarcastic, taking her side, but she's definitely 100% right here. I agree with her. I didn't expect
that's a racist. There's no way to deny that's a racist statement.
Yeah, that is a racist
like,
statement.
like, wow, man, Ben Shapiro, you're that Jewish, or you gotta demean human life and shit like that. You gotta demean people and living in poverty and shit. While there's a bunch of rich Israelis on the other side of the fence, living their white privileged lives and stuff.
And this was typed up in 2010. This isn't like recent. This is 10 years ago. 11.
Yeah, 11 years ago. Ben Shapiro is supposed to think. All right, shit.
Let them whip this. Let somebody go back. You go digging. You know, like Shorty just did. God knows what else he said. That's, you know, Ben Shapiro, he does make logical arguments, but I don't parlay to his information because he said a lot of insensitive shit. He holds a lot of viewpoints that I don't agree with, and I do find him to be racist.
But Ray, he also legitimized if the opposition said something similar, he has no leg to stand on to have any type of condemnation for those comments. He has none. He has none. Now, any racist person who wants to say something about Jewish people, they're willing to right to say it and condemn all Jews.
Yep.
They can say it. They can say it. He literally did the same thing right now. You mean all Arabs live in open sewage? I know there's a lot of Arabs that are completely rich. What is he talking about? What is he talking about? Saudi Arabia. What about everybody in that what did you call it, man?
Dubai.
The people. Yeah, you got Dubai, but it's the monarchy. The monarchy in Saudi Arabia and stuff. Completely rich people, billionaire heirs. They don't live in sewages. What is this man talking about?
Motherfuckers got
What is he?
pet tigers.
Yeah, a tiger has a pet, man. You know what I mean? What they feed them in a day is more than some of us get paid in a year. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what is he talking? This man, that comment right there is just. I don't think it was a rational, well thought out comment before he posted on there.
Oh hell
I mean,
no!
come on, Bishop Arrow, go to Dubai, baby. You gotta go to Dubai, baby. Nobody's living the sandwiches over there.
He one of them mofos that like to talk out of his ass. He like to talk real fast, sound smart and whatnot. And he does bring up some good points sometimes. But when he's wrong, oh man, he really shows his butt.
Well, that is a telltale sign of how he feels about Arabs. Anyway, it's a telltale sign. But go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right, let's run this, John.
Yeah, let's get this shit back up. Hold up.
That is not what was said in the tweet, neither literally nor even in the implication. What is very clear? What is very clear? Excuse me. I was talking.
You're wrong. So you're wrong. You're strawmanning both me and Bin. That's
right.
why
I apologize. I apologize. I apologize.
We're going to jump into 2-minute intervals just to be sure that you guys have plenty of time to respond to each other. So let's see. I'm going to flip a coin just to see who actually goes first for this 2-minute interval. Tom, your heads. Gotcha. Go ahead, Demonmama. You got 2 minutes, and then we're going to kick it over to Tom for 2 minutes.
So everyone in the audience here today has now seen the tweet. We know that this is a real tweet. You can go verify this on your own time if you want to. This is just one simple example. There are many such examples of obviously, blatantly, any reasonable person who has any sort of seriousness would recognize that saying Arabs like to blow things up and live in open sewage is absolutely a racist statement, and absolutely, by any reasonable metric, violates most social media websites' TOS, but very specifically Twitter's TOS. Now, Tom here has stated that, well, because he agrees with that statement and was willing to repeat it in his own words, stating that he believes that Arabs blow things up and live in open sewage, which I think is a disgusting sentiment for the record. I think that is a disgusting sentiment. But that because he agrees with this, that is somehow a okay thing to say, and that people should not be mad about that sort of thing. I think that's an absurd position to take. I think that people have an absolute right to push back on that sort of thing. And also, I think everyone has an absolute right to let Twitter know that something that is against their TOS is being propagated on their platform. Simple as that.
Tom, about the same amount of time, which was 1 minute and 10 seconds.
So yeah, that's just straight up delusional. Arabs does not mean all Arabs. It means some. Like clearly he didn't say all Arabs. He wasn't making a generalization about literally everyone in Arabia.
Well, he didn't say Arabs don't mean all Arabs. What?
Like he didn't say some. He didn't say
delusional.
He made a generalized statement. Like if you say black people, you don't imply some, a little, all, most, those black people over there, you know. He didn't apply that. He said Arabs. Nigga, what the fuck do you think he's talking about? He's saying he means all.
He said Arabs did not apply to all Arabs. This is this double speak bullshit, man. He's talking out of his ass. He said Arabs don't mean all Arabs.
I'm ready to rate TJ. No, I'm ready to rate Tjump's performance in this debate. He sounds fucking retarded. I'm gonna give him about a fucking 0 out of 10 here. Okay. This is not his area of expertise. He needs to step the fuck on out of it. I don't know why he's even in this debate. You know, he almost got Shorty with the okie doke and shit in the beginning, confused the hell out of her. But I can see where the confusion is coming in now. And it's sad.
You think Hollywood should be canceled? Or do they get an excuse?
We should be canceled.
Hollywood.
Hollywood. For what?
You ready?
Yeah.
In basic context in English, understands that this isn't about all Arabs. This is about specifically the Palestinians and the Hamas and.
Hey, Hollywood. You remember me?
Oh. What the hell?
It's
White
so
men
gonna
can't.
It's so gonna let Hollywood know.
Oh yeah. We need to cancel the mofos right now. Talking about white men can't jump. Unbelievable. Some racist ass shit.
That's one of my favorite movies back in the day.
Racist ass motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Racist.
So Woody
Oh wait.
Harrelson.
Is my headset mic work?
I don't know. Hold on,
Yeah,
you still got the debate on? Right there it is.
No, what the fuck? Hold on. I'm gonna mute my phone mic real quick. Because I'm hearing like
I can't believe that double standard. Hold on, let me see. Man, who the fuck is it? 605 to 10. Yama Holman says something. It's here about 605 to 10. Yeah, we're having a lot of audio issues tonight. Tjump is out here defending a racist. It's obviously there's a double standard in Hollywood, right, which is predominantly Jewish, obviously, and they'd say a lot of racist things in Hollywood, like white men can't jump. That was in the box office, man. Everyone saw that. It's got Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes. That's just like a funny thing. It's a funny movie, too. It's very funny. But apparently it's not funny to the liberal left.
yeah, I'm gonna take this off my ears. Like apparently my mic is interacting with my microphone. I don't know why it's fucking acting all
So
retarded.
apparently Ben Shapiro disrespected Mojob, and Mojob issued a response. And Young Mo says 605 to 10. Hold on, let me see if I'll get that shit for you. While you figure out your audio. Let's get out of the way.
I've been trying to figure this thing out since the beginning.
I gotta get Young Mo's fucking video up.
Testing. Why is that muted? Unmute.
Alright, so this is more handiwork of Ben Shapiro. Right, Young Mo just sent it to the stream chat. And it's not looking good. Yeah, we're running late tonight.
Yeah, man. When you guys gonna end it? I mean, we haven't even got through there's no way hell we get through the whole debate.
Yeah, let's see.
Oh, very soon. Very soon, definitely, because I'm gonna be going to sleep soon. And after watching Tjump make a mess of himself.
Yeah, let's see what.
I don't know. Ready?
That was never the point. And understanding that way is just incompetence. Like, no, that's not what the words mean. Learn what the principle of charity is. Learn what the context of the tweet was. It's specifically about the Israel-Palestine conflict. Like, this is really easy to understand. The fact that some people can't shows how they aren't capable of really rationally understanding the point of words.
Okay. So to respond to that, first of all, if he wanted to say some, he could have said some. He didn't. And secondly, I would attest that even within the framework of the context doesn't change it at all. The idea that you can say an entire ethnic group of people, which he has, by the way, they're Palestinians, but he has interestingly chosen to use the word Arab instead, seems a bit strange to me. But that he would generalize that entire group of people is still both against Twitter's TOS and is also a repugnant statement. Now, I believe that there is room for repugnant statements to be spoken. People are allowed to have bad opinions. I think lots of people have bad opinions. But what we're talking about here is deplatforming. And a platform is something where you can stand on and give your opinion to the world. And I don't believe that anyone is entitled to a platform. I believe that people have every single right within our free speech to express their free speech in response to someone else, especially if that person is standing on a platform like, say, Twitter, that people could speak up and say, hey, this is really bad. Here's why it's bad. And here's why we're pushing back against it. And then, of course, there's hanging over all of this the fact that the example that we're using here is obviously and blatantly in violation of Twitter's TOS. If you go read the Twitter TOS right now, you will find that broad generalizing statements like X group of people like to blow things up and live in open sewage is absolutely against TOS, which is, I think that that's fair. I mean, you might disagree. Maybe you think that Twitter, you should just be allowed to say whatever you want, whenever you want, with no moderation whatsoever. But most people would not like to use such a website. And also, it's a different conversation if we want to talk about whether we think Twitter's rules for platforming and TOS are valid or not. But what I'm getting is that, to me, it seems like you're a little bit fixated specifically on Ben Shapiro. And when I give you examples of when Ben Shapiro has done something that is either in violation of TOS or is an affront to large amounts of people and people respond, you then sort of waffle around.
2 minutes. Go ahead.
So yeah, this is the problem with the woke ideology. The context doesn't matter. Clearly that's false. The context specifically matters in every case. Taking something out of context is literally most of the fallacies. So saying gamers like Lego Star Wars, is that a generalization about all gamers? No. The word itself does not imply any percentage or amount. Doesn't do that. So this misrepresentation that the word itself is an affront to the majority or a lot of people is false. That's why it's not a violation.
Gamers is not
literally didn't do that.
Term,
That's
dumbass.
just the subjective interpretation of the woke ideology. They just want to interpret it that way because they don't want to apply the principle of charity and understand the context, because the context
I do like
doesn't
Lego
matter,
Star
apparently,
Wars,
even
I'm be
though
honest.
Literally, that's everything. Everything is context. Context is the most important thing. And so trying to take the words and interpret it in the most despicable way so that you can deplatform someone is clearly wrong. That's such a terrible ideology. That's immoral to do that. The fact that someone didn't say something in the most precise way possible and you're going to vilify them for that, that's disgusting. That's such a terrible ideology as a whole. No, this was specifically just think about the context, apply the principle of charity. This is specifically about Hamas and the Palestinian government. It doesn't have anything to do with the rest of the world, the rest of the Arabs, the rest of the Arabs in Palestine. Literally not. If you just ask Ben about this, would this statement apply to literally every Arab? He's probably going to say no. Just basic logic here.
Okay, so I would push back very strongly on the idea that charity or logic has anything to do with what we're talking about here. In fact, and again, I feel like we're having a basic communication issue. I don't know if you're listening or if you're processing some of the things that I'm saying to you, but I specifically said that even in context, this is even fully in context, this is inexcusable. First of all, he's specifically, and again, I don't want to go too far into it. It's just it's very interesting to me that you're willing to fight on this hill so hard, because he specifically refers to two ethnic groups, Israelis and Arabs. He makes no indication that he's only talking about one group of people or only bad people or anything. And even if he was, I don't know that would make it any better. I think that I have a hard time believing that you would be okay with that you'd be willing to sign off if, say, Like if I was to walk up, and this is just an example, this is not my genuine belief, but if I was to say white people are racist, I have a feeling like most people would go, hey, that's not true. Not all white people are racist. But if I said white people are racist, by your argument, you should basically have no problem with that whatsoever, is what you've been arguing here, is that you should have no problem with me making that sort of statement. Or if I said something like, I don't know, white people are murderers.
Yeah, so if you're not making a generalization, your intent was not to generalize, and that's pretty understood easily by the context. And yeah, there was nothing wrong with.
But there's nothing in that context that would indicate that he was not generalizing. He specifically chose the word Israelis, and he specifically chose the word Arabs. I feel like you're
after events that were relevant to that conflict.
Wait, hold on a second. Do you think that if like, I mean, I don't know how to like. I don't feel like.
Well, like the context
maybe I'm
really
wrong here,
obvious.
but like just because something happened near that or whenever that event happened doesn't justify any statement associated to that event. So like, for example, if after 9/11, you know, a lot of people were very, very hurt and stressed, and it was an incredibly horrible time. But if your uncle went on a rant about Muslims right after 9/11 and was just tearing into Muslims and saying horrible racist things about them, saying they're all this and they're all that, I don't think that we would say, oh, well, clearly he's only talking about the Muslims who were involved in 9/11. That would be ridiculous. We could recognize that your uncle was being racist. And I would say that regardless of its proximity to those events, it is very clear that Ben Shapiro is being racist. But again, I don't entirely know why you're like so devoted to defending this particular opinion. It sounds to me more like this. So far, your approach on this discussion has been mostly to do free PR for Ben Shapiro, which is fine. Who am I to tell you what to do with your platform? But I was here to discuss whether people should have the right and whether it is okay to engage in the act of deplatforming. And I would argue there are many cases in which it is indeed okay. After all, once again, this is not a matter of government censorship. We're not talking about whether I think the government should be able to imprison people for having opinions. I strongly disagree with that, obviously. However, I don't think that people like Ben Shapiro, racists, open racists like Ben Shapiro, are entitled to getting to speak on a private university campus. And if people on that campus speak up and say, we don't want this guy around because he's just going to fill our ears with garbage, they have every right to express their free will and their free speech to make it clear that they don't think that this guy should be on their campus. Right? Or do you disagree with that?
I disagree with like most of what you said there. So I think that
Which part?
Deplatforming him because you subjectively think he's racist because of your misinterpretations and uncharitable interpretations of his tweets, which in context clearly refer to the Israeli-Palestine conflict and their government and Hamas, which are.
But you're doing right now. You're doing PR for Ben Shapiro.
No,
let's
I'm
talk
not.
about.
This
okay, hold on.
is
Then let's
specifically
come
the
up. Let's move away from,
Look at the
Ben
SJ.
Shapiro's.
That's exactly how you debate on the left. You give the SJW response. Like, well, you're done.
Because of the reasons you just listed, he's an example of deplatforming, which is just garbage. It is a failure of your ideology.
You're just calling it garbage. You're not actually providing an argument as to why something is bad.
No,
so let me wait. Here.
Don't interrupt.
Look at that shit.
You not.
You see that? Hold on. Rewind little mama here. He's providing an argument. She calls it PR. Look at it. This is total SJW movement.
So let me wait here.
Don't interrupt.
Open racists like Ben Shapiro are entitled to getting to speak on a private university campus. And if people on that campus speak up and say, we don't want this guy around because he's just going to fill our ears with garbage, they have every right to express their free will and their free speech to make it clear that they don't think that this guy should be on their campus. Right? Or do you disagree with that?
What?
I disagree with like most of what you said there. So I think that
Which part?
Deplatforming him because you subjectively think he's racist because of your misinterpretations and uncharitable interpretations of his tweets, which in context clearly refer to the Israeli-Palestine conflict and their government and Hamas, which are
but you're doing right now. You're doing PR for Ben Shapiro.
No,
Let's
I'm
talk
not.
about.
This
Okay,
is
hold on. Then let's come up. Let's move away from Ben Shapiro
No,
specifically.
I'm not going
because-
to move away from Ben Shapiro. I'm going to continue with my point, as I stated.
Okay.
You banning him because of the reasons you just listed is an example of deplatforming, which is just garbage. It is a failure of your ideology.
I mean, you're just calling it garbage. You're not actually providing an argument as to why something is bad.
No,
so let me wait here.
Don't interrupt. I just did this. I said you not applying the context to the tweet and misinterpreting it in such a way, in the most despicable way you can, and then wanting to ban him for your subjective label of him being a racist when the context does not support that at all is wrong.
Okay. I don't.
Wow. Yeah, to really say this point again, they're repeating themselves back and forth.
Yeah, this is like Groundhog's Day. This is a Groundhog Day debate. They ain't going to get nowhere. They're going to talk in circles over and over and over again.
NJW versus the fucking what you call it, man. You can't barely hear what Tom Jump's saying.
Yeah. Let's do ratings and then we'll close it on out, Taylor.
This is dead. I can't tell. I don't know whether that's a chick or not. I know Tom Jump. I don't know what Tom Jump is saying. I'm gonna say this one gets like a 5-star because we were able to make a 2.5 hour video out of it. Right, they better have 2 hours. And we didn't even look at it. It's only we're only like 20 minutes into it.
No, 49.
Oh wow.
48.
How long is the video?
The video is probably longer than this one. It's 2 hours and 39 minutes.
Damn. So
yeah, we would need like a solid 6 hours in order to properly dissect this joint.
They're talking past each other.
Yeah.
She clearly got her SJW. Tjump clearly not. So I'm gonna give this shit dead. 5 stars. 5 out of 10. I mean,
so, what you got, Cyrus?
I mean, I love getting on here with you guys. You know what I mean? This is cool. Thank you for the first time. But at the same time, in the beginning, you know what I mean? Tjump was confusing me, and Taylor came in and deconfused me. But then when the conversation carried on, I don't know how many times that Demonmama reiterated the same thing that was not being clearly received by Tjump. And she kept saying the same thing, like, bro, regardless of whatever, and he would not concede that the comment that Ben Shapiro made via tweet was a racist and offensive comment to all Arabs. So I'm gonna give it just a little bit more stars in this debate than Taylor did. I'm gonna do a 5.5. You know what I mean? just a little bit, guys. Just a little bit. You know what I mean? But Ray, what you got for us, man? What do you feel? What you rating it, man?
I'm rating this debate as a Class A failure. It's a whole fucking dumpster fire and shit. You know what I'm saying? Both of them talking in circles and shit. This debate should have been over after Tjump basically explained TOS and cancel culture to her and broke it on down and whatnot. Shorty kind of cute though, but you know, other than that, my thing is what really turned me off on Tjump was him defending Ben Shapiro's tweet. I'm right there with you on that. Yeah, I mean, come on, you made a broad generalization right there. Tjump, you lost a lot of fucking points there. I'm gonna have to give you a fucking 0. Demonmama, I'm giving you a whole fucking 0 for even holding your fucking this motherfucking deplatform ideology and shit, because I don't believe in cancel culture. Never, I can't get down with it. I can't get down with demonizing a person because you don't agree with their opinions, their beliefs, or what have you. If you can't win the debate,
then just don't get into the debate. Like, I don't debate on things that I have no knowledge of. I'm not a metaphysicist, so I'm not going to debate on metaphysicism. I'm not a psychologist, so I'm not going to debate on psychology. What I will debate on is socioeconomics, fucking cutting pallets and shit, cutting wood, video games, comic books, and sometimes politics. But other than that, I'm going to get this debate nice, little, clean 3 out of 10.
Fair enough, and there you have it.
All right, Taylor, you want to take us out, man?
Yeah, let's do it. Hold on, let's get the last comments. And how can he compare the military? What? I don't know. Let's end it. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Have a wonderful night. I'm damn near asleep.
Yeah, man. Still live, bro.
Yeah, we supposed to sign out.
This motherfucker, man.
Bro, we're all still sitting here and stuff. Hey, nah, good night, man. You guys are good.